The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig!
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our Hubble Abode, the Thunderdome. On this, there's 21 college football games tonight, Thursday, August 29th, 2024. This program starts now. Football is happening tonight in a massive way. There are 21 D1 college football games. Now, we are excited about all of them, of course, but there's some headliners for sure. Colorado takes on North Dakota State tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Jacksonville State, right down here, takes on Coastal Carolina. That will be on CBS Sports Network. Jacksonville State favored by 3 against Coastal Carolina. People are saying, why is that a game to watch? Well, Rich Rodriguez is the coach of that team, and they were on TV maybe 5 times last year, and it was all like 21-point comebacks, fourth quarter drives, long touchdowns. What? They are electrifying. They got a whole new team over there. So does Coastal Carolina. That should be a great, great game. And then UNC travels to Minnesota to take on PJ Flex boat rowers, plus all the other action that we have taking place. It is a beautiful time to be alive. For 5 straight days, there will be real college football games. And then obviously the NFL starts. And then all of a sudden, guess what? We are full board the football train. I can't wait. I'm so incredibly excited. The Talks the Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Man who played corner in the NFL for 12 years. He's also Universal Record signed rapper. Ladies and gentlemen, West Virginia University icon, where we will be tomorrow live from the Life Sciences Building Grassy Knoll.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
Gates open at 9 a.m. to get in there. No camping overnight, they're saying. Monongalia County, which is the county in which Morgantown resides, their public school system has canceled all classes tomorrow. Okay, for anticipated traffic congestion. That's a wild thing to even think about. K through 12 all around the county shut down for the big weekend. Then obviously Labor Day takes place. They got a 4-day weekend in this entire thing. A lot of these kids are saying it's because of us. We're thinking there's a chance that some of the teachers potentially wanted to start the weekend. With everything. Nonetheless, we can't thank you enough for, just allowing us to come back, wanting us to come back. And tomorrow, we got a stacked lineup. Yeah. Pat White, Owen Schmidt are going to be there. Neil Brown, Garrett Green are going to be there. Deuce McBride of the New York Knicks is going to be there. Ren Baker on the other side is going to be there. And then some surprise guest appearances from West Virginia legends. Tomorrow should be a hell of a pep rally, should be a hell of a reminder, and should be a nice little hello from people that didn't know that Morgantown, West Virginia, and WVU is a football school, a football town, and this weekend is going to be electrifying there. And then I'll hop on a plane, fly now to College Station for Texas A&M Notre Dame, which is obviously gigantic, and a slate of games in which we are lucky to be a part of. But ladies and gentlemen, West Virginia icon Pac-Man Jones.
Yeah, back. Smell me.
Pac-Man getting back on Morgantown's campus is always awesome. You're doing something with the football team this year as well. It feels like they are reaching back out to the alum and to the OGs of West Virginia. Feels like Ren Baker, Neil Brown, everybody over there is starting to do things in a way that I think a lot of other big-time schools are doing. Honored to be a part of it. Can't wait to get back over there.
Can't wait to get back. Got to talk to a lot of guys that are going to be back this weekend. It's basically everybody's going back. I think they're doing a great job of reaching back out to some of the guys that helped build the legacy there. So I'm eager to get back. I can't wait. Yeah. The whole town is shut down.
Yeah, it's literally like they're treating it like in Penn State when you would never schedule for a homecoming. Yeah. But it has certainly felt from my sphere. Now, granted, we're dropped right in the middle of it, so I'm hearing from everybody is going to Morgantown.
Everybody.
Literally every person that's ever been associated with West Virginia is heading back to West Virginia this weekend. It's going to be a monumental weekend there. And if they beat Penn State,
look out.
Nelly.
Hey,
look out.
They're walking into a buzzsaw. because there's multiple bars now. Mutts will, which is right down the street from where we will be live. They're opening at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Nice. So they are opening at 8 a.m. to pregame for the show. Mutts is a place that we stop by whenever we went back to coach the spring game. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mutts, the original Mutts was like a staple of Sunnyside. Shout out to George. It got torn down, for probably good reason. I mean, that whole area probably should have been renovated. Absolutely. Shout out to Eli and Joe, who re-brought the Mutts name back and the brand back in a new building. They're going to be open at 8 a.m. And I believe there's another place that is right near that I have never been that is opening up at 8 a.m. as well. Taters Pub and Grub. Taters will be open at 8 a.m. on Friday to serve breakfast and cold beer to anyone going to the Pat McAfee Show. We're the closest dine-in American restaurant to the show. I love that description. Stop by, enjoy a nice cold beer and a hot breakfast before you go enjoy the best sports show on TV. So a little bit of a lie there at the end, so we don't know what's real and what isn't from Taters Pub and Grub. But I can't thank everybody enough for seemingly being very excited that our show is going to be there. But we understand that it's a part of a much bigger weekend. Biggest home opener since 1998, they're saying. Yeah. Penn State's coming in. You got college football playoff implications, both in the Big 12 and the Big 10, immediately after week one. Now, of course, with the new 12-team system, you can lose and still make it into playoffs, which is a beautiful thing. Takes a lot of pressure off a lot of people, makes a lot of, for instance, my team. If I make 2 kicks, we probably go and win the national championship. But we lose 1 game, and since we're in the Big East at that time, you're gone forever. There's been a lot of schools that have been like that. Florida State last year didn't lose a game, but happened to lose a couple of their quarterbacks and their star players, and they didn't get in. So now, college football playoff implications are certainly on the line. You lose a game, you can still make it in. But if West Virginia wins this game, all of a sudden, it's like a springboard. I don't want to say a fast track into the college football playoff, but for real, especially in the Big 12 where it's wide open. And like strength of schedule, beating Penn State, like that would be huge. And if Penn State beats this West Virginia team, and West Virginia goes on to be what we think they're going to be with a lot of returning starters, like this is going to be a good win for Penn State in a Big 10 that could have 4 teams make it into the entirety. So when you talk about massive implications this early in the season, it's happening in Morgantown. And Morgantown is very much like, we want to host it. From what I've been told, it's like all hands on deck all weekend. They're understanding what Morgantown, West Virginia is going to be like. It is a good time town. And it's like, hey, let's go ahead and do this. Penn State fans, you'll be very welcomed and you will have a good time. You will get shit talked. Like that is certainly going to happen. But when you come to Morgantown, know it's going to be a good time. Like you are going to get shit talked. It is going to be a lot of that. But it's a good football town. But if West Virginia beats Penn State on Saturday, that game's over at like 3:30, right?
It'll be tailgating for 18 hours.
That's what I said. From our show. That's a long
Monday off. Sunday.
Oh my! Taking back Sunday. I mean, it is going to be wild, and that goes to how awesome college football is. There's some stuff happening around college football that I think we should spotlight before we dive into some NFL news that we maybe missed yesterday. The NIL has been talked about sideways a lot because there is a lot of questionable and suspect things happening around the NIL. Fake contracts, not happening. People getting paid things that they didn't think they were going to get paid, and expectations being lost, people lying to people, pay for play type shit happening, recruiting, like so much NIL stuff has been negative. Whenever positive stuff happens, we have to talk about it. Tone Diggs, there's some good NIL stuff happening around the country right now.
Yeah, there is. There's a lot of players who are, let's say, more fortunate with the NIL, who are star players who are making a ton of money, who are giving back to their teammates who aren't making as much in the NIL. We could start at Oklahoma with Danny Stutzman, who is just an absolute dog. I believe he was, go ahead, he was running the video.
I remember talking to Silos and I wanted to send him the walk-ons. I remember Chris Hammock did that, a few months ago, and I was really moved by that. And so, obviously there's days where you feel like your hard work doesn't get seen, doesn't get noticed, but it really does here at Oklahoma. And every single day we appreciate you guys. This team would be nothing without you guys. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I truly do mean that. And I feel like I have a really good connection with all you guys. And I just know how much you guys put into this program. And,
maybe not you.
I think it's not And so with that being said, I want to donate some of my NIL earnings to you guys, so you guys can have a little something else after the meetings. This will be in your lockers.
That's awesome. Studs giving back to walk-ons there at Oklahoma.
Yeah, I think he was giving $50,000, not to each, but $50,000 of his NIL money and some stuff there. And then Caleb Downs at OSU, Ohio State, was giving away Beats by Dre, I believe.
I seriously appreciate y'all for letting me come into the brotherhood this year. Like, from the bottom of my heart, it means everything. Hey, we got a job to do, though. We got a job to do. God bless me with a chance to gift y'all with a pair of beats this coming season. We had a good camp, had a good spring, had a good summer. Let's go do what we're supposed to do.
Hell yeah. Caleb Downs led Alabama in tackles last year as a true freshman. Now he's a true sophomore at Ohio State. Couldn't fathom the amount of money that they gave him to go up to Ohio State after transferring out of Alabama after Coach Saban leaves. Give him back to the team, a bunch of beats by Dre. I mean, that's a beautiful move. He could have kept all that shit for himself. Instead, he gives back. We got to acknowledge that type of stuff.
Yeah, we do. And then Dylan Gabriel, who was Stutzman's teammate at Oklahoma, transfers to Oregon. Another transfer in, winning over the locker room. He also gave away some beats, but then there was a throwing session that he had everyone at. Take a look at what he gave away there.
I just want to send a huge shout out to Shop GOD, icing the boys out. We're here at the Dime Time Retreat, enjoying it. About to get iced out and have a throwing session. Let's go.
What do you do?
He iced out I don't know if it was the entire team, but everyone at the throwing session, I believe, got some chains.
What? Okay.
Shout out to LD. We appreciate it. Brian Stallman's out here running back Oregon.
Okay. Damn. Hey, whiskey for my men, beer for my horses. Iced out offense is a quick way for a quarterback to win over the locker room. What a play.
Yeah.
He gave away beats as well.
I don't know if we have that video as well, but yeah, Dylan Gabriel's giving it away up there.
Oh my God.
It's big money up there in Oregon.
That's what I've heard. I think that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
I think it's big money in a lot of places. And I like the fact that there's a lot of players that are in very important positions on a lot of very important teams that are saying, hey, we got to take care of the boys. Because obviously that's a quick way to build team camaraderie, but it's also a way to settle and ease any jealousy or enviness that could take place around a locker room. In a professional locker room, you would hope you be adults and everything like that. And you literally know what everybody's making, but you never bring it up. 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, first time around money. This person's making 60 grand. I'm making 35 grand. Automatically being valued differently for the same type of job. You think you're better. So whenever there's people that are getting more, give back to the rest of the locker room. That's great team building. I love everything about it. Yeah. It's a good way to manage money too. Yeah. People are like, well, if you give away all your money, you won't be able to make and save all your money. And Jerry Jones even said that about C.D. Lamb recently. It's like, yeah, but it's funny. The more you give out, seemingly the more that comes back in return. And I love watching this happen at the college level.
Yeah, it happened in the top NFL level too. Like most of the teams' quarterbacks have an end of the year party or giving out something for Christmas. You know what I mean? So like at one point in my career, I was the highest paid DB in our room, and I gave out gifts Christmas. And after camp, I had the party for the DBs. So everybody do that if it's a good group
professional.
Of guys. Yeah.
It's like kind of known in the NFL that in those rookie dinners.
Yikes.
Some guys are going to have to be giving away some of that ice. What's the value on this? We get the on it. See if this thing's real or not, so we can pay for the rookie meal. All right. So shout out to all those dudes.
Yeah. Shout out.
That's good teammate. Hey, I'm happy to see this generation still has that going on. That's good leadership in this entire thing.
Yeah, because when we initially talked about NIL, like one of the big things was like, oh, these guys who are going to be making a bunch of money are just going to turn into like petulant dickheads. Like, it's going to inflate their egos so much. And we're seeing three of like the biggest stars in college football who, as opposed to, like you said, just saving it all for yourself and being really flashy with it around campus, spreading the wealth with their teammates. Like, it's awesome.
Shador just got a Nike deal. I assume that there's going to be, he's giving away a bunch.
He did Beats as well.
Yeah, Beats, and then I assume he's going to do Nike. I mean, there's just going to be so much. It's like, the NFL teams are looking for that as well. Hey, who do we want to bring in? Yeah. These are some things that you can pull off. And I'm not saying these are all moves to make people think that you're a good person, but if you do a bunch of moves every single day of your life to make people think you're a good person, you might be a good person. That might be the entirety of the thing. Let's go to the NFL because there was some news that we kind of missed yesterday in this entire thing. You go back 1 week, we had a conversation with Michael Lombardi. This is what he had to say about the Aiyuk 49er situation.
Now, the rubber meets the road this week or next week. They're going to have 4 days off this weekend. All teams have to. But when it starts next Tuesday, a week from today, when you start getting ready for the Jets game, you're either going to be playing or you're not. And if you're not playing, you're going to start getting fined game check.
Which leads to John Lynch saying this yesterday about Aiyuk not being at practice.
Was it communicated to Brandon's camp at any point, say in the last few weeks, that he would be expected to practice starting?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into our communication again, but there's, at some point you got to play.
Okay, so at some point you got to play. Rubber meets the road. There's fines that are happening. Feels like most people that have been in these positions to decide if somebody's on the team or roster manipulation or handling any of that, they're like, yo, come on. Like, this has been a song and dance, but let's go ahead and move along here. Then you see what the Cleveland Browns just did with Deshaun Watson's contract, where they free up $35 million, and now they have $62 million in cap space by doing some salary cap gymnastics by signing some of his guaranteed $230 million deal, biggest of all time still to this day, and make it a signing bonus so you can kick that thing down the road throughout the rest of the contract, which makes you think, wait a minute, seems like Lynch is about tired of it. Mm-hmm. Cleveland Browns were in it at one point.
For sure.
Then they were considered out of it. That sounds very similar to what happened with the Deshaun Watson situation with the Cleveland Browns, where they were considered in it, then they were considered way out of it, and then they came all the way back in with a heavy offer to make it take place. Is this all? Joining us now is a man who might know. Senior NFL insider for ESPN, Michigan man, Adam Schefter.
Yeah.
Shefty,
Tell me what's going on.
Shefty, am I doing too much of this? Am I doing too much of this? I know you just watched what just took place. Cleveland opens up a lot of money right before the season starts. Why would they do that? Unless they were trying to make a signing or bring somebody in. What are your thoughts on it? And should I be linking this all together?
Well, let me say this. With Brandon Aiyuk, nothing ever seems to be what it appears to be, right? On Thursday, August 1st, I thought a trade to Cleveland was happening and was imminent, and then it didn't get done. And so the holdup with Cleveland all along hasn't been whether or not the Browns have cap space. The holdup there has been Brandon Aiyuk's willingness to accept a trade to Cleveland.
Big money.
The contract would have been done there if he wanted to go. The compensation would have been done there if he wanted to go. He's balked at going to Cleveland in the past. Now, could he change his mind today, in the next week? Anything's possible here, because I would venture to tell you that there's never been a case as unpredictable as the one that has gone on this summer between the 49ers and Brandon Aiyuk. At various points dating back to before training camp, the 49ers thought they had a deal with Brandon Aiyuk, and they didn't. They thought there was a trade with the Cleveland Browns, and then there wasn't. A trade with New England was coming together until it wasn't. A trade with Pittsburgh was going to happen until it didn't. He was re-signing with the 49ers after meeting with them until he didn't. He was going to be traded again until he wasn't. Now, he was going to practice yesterday until he didn't, until he ghosted him. So, how many people have been out there also pointing out that trades with teams are done? Like, at various points, I've heard he's going to Pittsburgh. I've heard he's going to Cleveland. Has anything gotten done yet? No. All of a sudden, at some point, when Mike Lombardi's saying the rubber meets the road, yes, when we were on Monday here, we're saying this becomes a critical week for all sides to get together, to push, to make something happen. It doesn't mean it's going to be resolved, but there certainly were going to be renewed efforts this week with CeeDee Lamb, which got done, with Jamar Chase, which seemed to be going the right way until yesterday, with Brandon Aiyuk, which continues to be a situation that has been a stalemate, with Trent Williams, which hasn't been a lot of progress so far, and with Hassan Reddick, which also a stalemate with not a lot of progress so far. But that's not for a lack of effort this week from teams and trying to make something happen, knowing that the regular season's opening 1 week from tonight.
Which is awesome. Yeah, we are all happy about it. It's very good news. But it is, deadlines normally bring compromises and agreements in this entire thing. And we kind of thought maybe the Commanders, whenever they traded Dotson for a third rounder, maybe they were trying to load up a third rounder.
Commanders are not in.
Got it. Commanders not in. Obviously, deal didn't happen. Then I see the Browns open up this money, and I think to myself, with the Deshaun Watson situation, remember, Deshaun wasn't going to Cleveland. He balked at going to Cleveland. That has not taken place. Then they come in with the biggest contract guarantee in the history, Mulligetta. Hey,
dog.
Absolute dog, Mulligetta. But he comes in over the top, $230 million guarantee, and all of a sudden Deshaun Watson's like, I'm not going to Cleveland. And then it's $230 million guarantee. can't fucking wait to get to Cleveland.
Let's go.
You know?
Right.
So did the Browns free up this money so that they can still have a good amount of money to use during the season, but maybe they are going to make him one of the highest paid guys. And if he becomes one of the highest paid guys all of a sudden, does that make him change his tune going to Cleveland? Like, is there no? Okay. No.
It hasn't today. It hasn't. They already were offering more money than Pittsburgh, more money than San Francisco. They were offering a lot. That wasn't the issue.
Got it.
The issue simply was that he preferred to go elsewhere.
So what do they open up all this money for then? Trent?
Well, they opened it up knowing that they have business to do at the start of the new league year next year and to have that flexibility. And again, I don't ever rule out that Brandon Aiyuk couldn't change his mind today, but I haven't heard that he is. Like, if I heard today that he was being traded with Cleveland, would it shock me? It would surprise me. But in this particular situation, nothing has been what you thought it would be. No. Nothing.
It's like
so it's hard to predict. But I don't think, to answer your question, I don't think the Browns opened up that cap space with the idea that we are getting close to making a trade for Deshaun. I could be wrong, but I don't believe that to be the case.
Okay, we will keep an eye on it. Obviously, in the Aiyuk situation, he's certainly awesome because the Niners seemingly have to deal with this every offseason, something like this. And then inevitably they get it worked out. And then inevitably they're all the way around to the end.
Yep.
And then if they don't win a Super Bowl, people say there's a lot of complaining for a team that doesn't win a Super Bowl. It's like, they are. It is not easy to win a Super Bowl. They are such a dominant team, such a great team. Hopefully they'll be able to figure it out. Let's talk about an AFC team that has a situation that you alluded to there. Jamar Chase was back. It was going good. T. Higgins obviously on a 1-year deal. He understands the situation. Jamar Chase, 2 years left on his deal, but I would like to get paid. Everybody understands what my worth is to this particular program. He's coming back to practice. Zach Taylor saying, I'm excited to watch the Jamar Chase show. I'm excited to watch the Jamar Chase show. Then 13 minutes into practice, Jamar Chase shows up wearing a T-shirt and shorts. I saw people saying it was street clothes. I think that's a Bengal shirt.
Yeah.
I think he's wearing a Bengal shirt. So that means he went into his locker. He was there in the building. So he's wearing team apparel gear, just not practicing. What is the situation here? How do we feel about it? And I know you alluded to it earlier. Do we know anything with what's going on with Jamar Chase?
Well, I think Zach Taylor, the Bengals head coach, yesterday said that he spoke too soon. And I think what happened was when he came out the day before and said that Jamar's back practicing and he absolutely expects him to play week 1. I don't know that the Jamar Chase camp particularly liked those comments where the Bengals are dictating the narrative when things are not done and a contract is still being discussed and Jamar Chase still hasn't been paid. And I think this was Jamar Chase's way of saying, you're not the only one in charge here. I have a say as well. And I'm not going to practice and just step out there the way that you think I am. Now, again, the question is he willing to do that on opening day against the New England Patriots? Is he willing to do that in week 2? Most people around the league believe that he's not. Now, again, I say here's a guy who sat out a full season of college football when there was business at hand. Yeah. I don't know what he's going to do.
And Jamar Chase, so good.
Yeah, and Jamar Chase hasn't spoken publicly, so we don't know exactly what he's thinking. What we do know is that there is an issue. What we do know is that contract talks have been moving in slow motion. What we do know is he's not practicing as of yesterday. What we do know is Zach Taylor said he doesn't know what's going to happen. It's day to day right now. So there's a lot of uncertainty here, and there's still some time to have this play out. Like, you have to figure that Joe Burrow is banging his drum like to get this deal done. They did Joe Burrow's deal after 3 years. Jamar Chase wants his deal done with 3 years. If you're the Bengals, you're saying, well, you've got 2 years left, and we could tag you, and we could tag you again. So we could make the argument that we contractually control your rights for 4 years.
Yeah, that's a long
But
time.
Jamar Chase could say, well, I'm not playing this year for $1 million in base salary, a base salary of $1 million. Like, I just think, I've thought this all along. I think this is a complicated situation. And if it weren't, it would have been solved by now. So I think it's been proven to be a little bit of a sticky situation.
Quagmire.
No matter how much some people want to deny that.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a conundrum, a little bit of a quagmire, but let's go. Pac-Man Jones obviously lives in Cincinnati, Bengals legend. And what is Cincinnati talking about? What are the thoughts around Cincinnati?
Well, Pat, what we do know is Mr. Brown have never paid a wide receiver with 2 more years left on the deal. What we do know is that we haven't seen no quarterback like Joe Burrows, and God knows when. So that deal had to get done. Do I think the deal will get done during the season? No, I don't. I don't think Mr. Brown do deals during the season, and I don't think he's gonna play him with 2 years. Maybe he adds something to the deal, and that's probably why the
incentive
deal,
based, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe they're doing
not even incentive based. Probably add 10 million or whatever the number is to it. But as far as doing a whole new deal, Mr. Brown is not going to do that with 2 years.
What we do know is that Pac-Man's a quick learner there. That's what we know.
Yeah, we do.
Pac-Man's a quick learner. I love that.
I think we all know that about Mr. Brown, that have been around the NFL. And the fact that, his daughter, I believe, and son-in-law and everything, they have certainly built up the business of the Bengals. They sold the naming rights to the stadium for the first time ever. That's like hundreds of millions of dollars just sitting there available. And they knew it because Joey Burrow is coming to town. Ohio guy has the ability. It feels like a new era of Bengals football, but now are we going to get trapped in a situation where one of the stars wants a little bit more money? There has to be a deal to be made. By
the way, again, Jalen Waddle, 2 years left on his deal. That deal gets done after 3 years.
Thanks a lot.
Joe Burrow, they did his deal for 3 years after 3 years. So, again, Jamar Chase wants to be paid. Let's be very clear about that. And we're going to see how these two sides handle it and how far he's willing to push it, which we don't know right now.
There has to be somewhere. But if you miss the game and he's fined, it's like $250,000. Yeah. Not even, right? Like, what is the fine if he missed the game? Nothing.
And yeah, what I say is, so what? Like, I think, I don't know. I think if you missed a game, I was on the phone last night with a GM. We were talking about this, and it's more complicated. We were going to look into it today, but if he misses a game check, who cares?
It's nothing.
Who cares?
Was it $4 million? He's getting $1 million, you said, in base salary? I thought
$1 million in base salary. What's $1 million divided by 18? Divided by 18.
Is that like
okay, there's
70 grand, 60 grand?
That is his weekly game check. 70 grand. That's the number.
He was making that at school.
Yeah, bingo.
A week, 70 grand a week down there.
But then there's the contract toll. Okay, well, again, if Jamar Chase doesn't care about that, and then they just keep the contract in place because he didn't play the opener or beyond. But if you're Jamar Chase, like, you've made that decision. If you're not playing the opener, he's not playing the opener and then coming back week 2 to play against the Chiefs without a that's why we have to know what he's thinking, and we don't know how far he's willing to push this right now. My guess is he's going to play. That would be my guess. But do I know that? I don't know that.
Okay. Well, I hope they get it figured out.
Yeah.
They need to get
Everybody
it sorted.
Need to.
Yeah. There's some business conversation that's coming around. A former quarterback. Connor has a question for you, Shefty.
Yeah, Shefty, why are the owners making it so hard on Tom Brady just to get a little piece of the Raiders? Now it's coming out that, if he does become part owner, that he's not going to be able to sit in production meetings with players. Yeah, here's the tweet right here. Not have access to practice. What's the deal here? And is this just inevitably going to get done for Tom, or are they going to try and put all these different things in place so that it doesn't get done?
Well, no, here's the situation. Other owners have objected to him being a partial owner of the Raiders and being a broadcaster, considering, let's just say Tom Brady is assigned to the number 1 game that week. And let's just say Tom Brady, his Raiders are playing the Chiefs. How can you have a guy who's a partial owner of the team go to Chiefs practice or sit in on meetings? You can't do that. So other owners have objected to that type of thing, and they said, if he's approved as the owner, they're going to have to put in place certain rules, which, again, you'd like to think somebody would be professional enough to abide by that, but again, he's owning the team. He'd be a partial owner of the team. So teams that are going against the Raiders don't want Tom Brady in their broadcast meetings and in their production meetings. They don't want him.
I want to say this. Just nobody has said the angle that I'm saying, and I can't believe that this isn't what everybody's thought was immediately. So he doesn't have to travel to another city early to watch any practices. He doesn't have to sit in those 4 to 5 hour production meetings on Zoom or in person. He just show up on game day, call the game, and he's getting paid $350 million, and he owns an NFL team. That sounds like the perfect. And allegedly Tom Brady's camp not happy because he wants to be over prepared and he wants to see and everything like that.
By the way, as a color analyst, and I've never been an analyst, so I don't know this, and I've been in some production meetings in my life back when I was the initial sideline reporter for NFL Network Thursday night games with Brian Gumbel and
I remember that. I remember you back there, Shefty. Yeah.
Back in the day. So, you go through those production meetings. I'm just telling you, I wouldn't want to be an analyst for a game, a play-by-play man for a game, a sideline reporter for a game, and not go through those meetings.
Yeah, but he'll get a transcript. He'll get the, right?
I guess. I mean, I guess they would send him the transcript. No, they wouldn't. If he's the partial owner of the Raiders, because those meetings are very candid and honest, and coaches tell you what they think of players and what they're planning to do and how they want to attack that team. No, he's not going to get the transcripts of those meetings.
Gosh. All right, so maybe I was wrong in thinking that this was awesome for Tom. But
now you could say, okay, Tom doesn't go to the meetings, he doesn't go to the practice, but he calls the game. But then what insight does he have other than being Tom Brady?
That might be that feels like it's good enough to me.
That's a lot, but he doesn't have the insight and the benefit of sitting in and preparing the way that he would want, the way that everybody else does for these games about these teams.
I agree.
That's what goes on.
I agree, but if you could be an owner of a team and make $350 million a show,
that's having his cake and eating it too. Of course, he would love to do that.
Yeah, as soon as I read it, they're like, Tom's in a bad spot. It's like, mother, what? This is not he's getting $300-some million to call. He's only going to show up one, not even allowed to do more.
By the way, if you're Fox, again, he's Tom Brady. I got it. He's one of the most iconic people of all time in sports. But if you're Fox and you're paying Tom Brady all that money, don't you want him to be as involved as he can be in getting ready for a game and being as prepared as he can be for a game? But now, all of a sudden, you can't go to practice, you can't go to production meetings, you can't prepare the way that every other analyst prepares for a game?
That might be force majeure there.
It
might be a force majeure situation in there.
Yeah.
I'm assuming somebody's going to have to kind of look into the details of that whole thing. All I know is Tom Brady calling a game, just watching a game. Like if he's just watching a simulcast, I'm going to be glued to it for at least a year. Now, year 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I guess that's where it really starts getting into the whole thing. But Shefty, anything else we should know about Trent Williams? Is that going to get done? That feels like a massive ordeal. Hassan Reddick, you said stalemate. What does that even mean?
It means that the two sides haven't made any progress on Hassan Reddick, and the Niners haven't made a lot of progress so far with Trent Williams. And again, I just feel like we're at the point in the calendar. I always felt like this was going to be one of those weeks that would tell you a lot about each of these situations. And it's amazing to me that there's a real possibility that we may get through the week. Aiyuk is in its own category because it could happen anytime or it could go on forever. I give up there. I don't know what that is about. But Trent Williams, Hassan Reddick, Jamar Chase, it certainly feels like those situations right now aren't getting done this week, which means they bleed into the week of the opener, which means that the urgency on them gets dialed up even more, which means, again, when the rubber meets the road, usually these things do get done. But so far, there aren't a lot of signs of hope with Hassan Reddick and Trent Williams so far. But it's Thursday, and there's still a little bit of time, but again, the urgency level is definitely rising.
Shefty, 21 college football games tonight. Obviously, that's amazing. 1 week from the NFL kickoff, and I watched a documentary on a Michigan man who loves Michigan more than you do.
Yep.
That Connor Stallions doc, have you watched it on Netflix?
No, is it good?
Yes.
Let me tell you, there has been some reviews, and obviously Dockich is here in town. He said, I didn't learn anything from that documentary. There's no new piece of information, and I think that's probably because, if you went in there thinking one way, you came out of it thinking the same way about whether or not Jim knew. For me, I would like to go on the record as stating, any team in any sport that I am a fan of, I would like Connor Stallions to be on the fucking staff for. You're talking about locked it. There wasn't even a thought of a significant other. There wasn't a thought of another hobby.
What?
Dude joined the military to become a football head coach because he studied football head coaches and knew that all of them had military ties that ended up being great. So he signed up to become a Marine. For you that don't know the military, the Marines are like the most bought in. Ooh, raw. They are ready to go. He was like that. He took that Marine mentality towards football. And his manifesto that people were talking about, kind of knocking him for, they showed one screen of it. It's that's worth millions of dollars to so many schools. He is a weapon. Now, they got him. coaching high school in Detroit, they still use signs.
Yeah.
That team is going to win state championship. This dude is phenomenal after watching it. Now, did he cross the line? Probably. I mean,
sure.
Certainly. But what I learned from him is like, I don't think I've ever seen somebody love the thought of being a coach, football in Michigan, ever in my life than Connor Stallion. It was. I would watch it if I were you, as a Michigan person. I would certainly watch it.
I'm gonna watch it, but it's tough to get my wife sometimes to switch off housewife shows to get to watch what I want to watch.
Which city? Which city?
Every city, Pat.
Oh, it doesn't
Dubai, Orange County, New York, New Jersey. Like, we watch them all.
Jersey.
We watch them.
There's a Dubai Housewives?
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Atlanta. Yeah, I watch all the cities. Yep.
I remember the Orange County ones way back in the day.
Great one. That's a good show.
Jersey's my favorite.
Yeah, Jersey was a good time. I met a couple of them whenever I was a rookie at a party in New York.
Atlanta.
I was starstruck.
Obviously.
Holy
How could you
shit!
not be?
Good
Yeah.
to see you guys. Yeah, Atlanta was the one that caused a bunch of shit. Like Atlanta took it to the next level, I think. And you're what? Dubai has one?
That's great. I'm going to check that out.
Oh, yeah. Bethesda or Maryland or whatever it is. Oh, yeah.
Bethesda,
Maryland.
Maryland. I know Bethesda.
Yeah, what I like about the shows is everybody's very reasonably minded.
Sure.
Which is that's very good.
Well,
very good to see.
And that leads back to Sign Stealer on Netflix. He is not reasonably minded at all. At all. He is the most obsessed, focused football human I've ever seen.
I love him.
There's coaches in the NFL, I assume, that watch that Netflix Untold thing and they're like, we got a fucking job somewhere, right? we got a job for this guy somewhere. And signs aren't that big of a deal. We can point him in a different direction and he will go. I mean, after watching it, full 180 for me on Connor Stallions, I'm like, this dude obsessed with football.
Yeah,
Did he cheat?
Okay,
Probably.
but give me the takeaway, your takeaway after watching it, other than he's obsessed and you'd want him on your staff. What was the takeaway?
I think Harbaugh thought maybe something was going on, but just didn't even. Yeah. I think he probably just was like, let's not even. And there's like a sign stealing community we learned about in college football that all kind of share information. And T. Will, Arkansas's defensive coordinator, he kind of solidified that fact a few days ago. And then there were some people in the documentary that were like very much open, like, yeah, there is intel groups and communities. So there's sign stealing stuff that's been happening in college football, and there's different teams that have been accused of it. I think Connor Stallions is the one that took it the furthest, was the most focused on it, and inevitably was the greatest. When he was at Navy, whenever he was a student at Navy, he just goes to the football facility and says, like, can I just have a job? I'd like to be a part of the staff. And I guess one of the assistants, the way the story goes, the assistant told him, like, we don't have like a sign decipher person. Why don't you do that? So he did it. And they got footage of him next to the head coach, and he's doing the same shit that he was doing in Michigan, and they almost beat Ohio State. And then his 4 years at Navy, the winningest Navy has ever been in football. It's like, okay. Wow. I mean, you're talking about, now he is obsessed with this.
He's a sociopath in the best way.
Yes, he is. There's something obviously completely lock-inable, but like there was not even a thought of a significant other. Like, how's your family? No family. What are you talking about?
No.
My mom loves Michigan. Yeah, get it. That's what I'm doing.
Michigan's my family.
Dressed up as Bo Schembechler as a 3-year-old. Like that was his whole life was to be.
Memorized the whole team speech from Bo.
Yeah, the team did the whole thing.
We all love Bo. Bo was the best.
Yeah, you Michigan people. Amen. Seemed like that was the one that really brainwashed all of you after watching that whole thing. But there was a scene where like a media person in the Netflix Untold was like, there's no reason that a multi-million-dollar paid coordinator is listening to this staffer that makes nothing. And then there's a clip of Sharon Moore like taking his ear thing off and Connor Stallion's like looking and then saying something to him and Sharon put it back in and going. And it's like he was beloved, I bet you, by that entire Michigan staff, that entire Michigan team. Mike Barrett, who was on the team, was in it, talking up, singing his graces. It's like, I assume that was a lot for a lot of people, but in that building, they knew they had a fucking weapon, an absolute weapon. And I bet you every other team that watches that documentary is like, he's got a 3-year ban, right? Yeah. Okay, as soon as that's over, let's go ahead and get him into our building.
At the end of the documentary, they show like pay stubs from other schools of other sign stealers from those schools buying tickets to other games. So it wasn't just Connor Stallions. He was just the Bill Belichick of it.
Yeah, he allegedly was too successful, too far,
too good,
too much, too good. But he's coaching high school now, and they still do signs. So the entire city of Detroit where he is coaching, you're fucked. I don't know how to tell you this, but you are absolutely, because he like broke it down. He's like, if you do a sign more than once, It's over. And they're like, well, you got multiple people signing, so you can't tell. It's pretty easy when
By
all
the way,
players look at one guy.
don't you think baseball teams should hire him also? In the offseason?
He's the Houston Astros. He is literally the garbage can.
Yeah.
He's the
exoskeleton.
We got curve coming. I'm trying. Him just sitting in the crowd too with the binoculars. Hey, why's that guy got binoculars? Oh, I got bad eyes.
Everyone's got binoculars out there.
Yeah, everybody's got bad eyes. I mean, he is. I'm telling you, I would like that. He has an open invitation to work for this particular. Dave Portnoy says he's got a job at Barstool for the rest of his life if he wants it. I would like to add another one. Hey, as long as we are a football show, Connor Stallions, your brain, your research, your obsession with ball, there's something you can contribute to this show.
Yep.
And we would love it. All right, Shefty, we appreciate you, man. Good luck as a week from today. Football season for you officially launches into the stratosphere. We're excited for the biggest year of all time.
Well, happy Labor Day to you guys. Appreciate you having me. Let's all hope for everybody's sake that the Niners and Brandon Aiyuk can resolve the situation and we could all live happily ever after.
Trent Williams also
very important.
That is
need him.
You know what I mean? That is
That
like that. That's more noticeable, I think, week one if Trent's not there and Brock Purdy's getting. You know,
Although they are playing the Jets, so it would just be a holdout versus a holdout guy.
Oh, so we got backup versus backup.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That D line for the Jets is very good. All right, we appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Schefter. Dude, the thought of Connor Stein, I'm happy we got into that. Shout out to Ram Trucks.
Shout out to Ram Trucks.
I don't know if you've seen new Twisters. Glenn Powell, incredibly attractive and handsome, and certainly wrangling some Tornadoes. They're driving a sick Dodge Ram truck.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, the Ram truck, the new ones, that they've come back and said, hey, we are. Don't ever forget.
Yeah.
And we appreciate them joining us.
Yeah.
It's going to be a hell of a football season with Ram. You're talking about some power.
Yeah.
Real power.
And it looks clean.
Fast, I heard as well. As it can also, you got some ponies under the hood.
We're going to need that when you're chasing tornadoes.
That's right.
You're going to need that when you're chasing.
Horsepower.
Yeah. Did you see those cars over here the other day?
Yeah, I did.
Funny car and Top Fuel?
I did see them.
11,000 horsepower in those things.
How long were they? They look long as hell outside.
So the Top Fuel one is
long.
very, very long.
Yeah.
You know what? There's like, my brother did Boy Scouts as a kid, and they made like these cars.
Pinewood Derby.
Yeah.
Those things.
Yep.
And they were built, it was built exactly like that Top Fuel thing. It's like somebody took that and just was like, let's make this actual car.
Made for speed.
Let's put 11,000 ponies right behind them. They're in a rock. He said there's a 12G swing.
Yeah,
Yep.
6 forward and then 6 when
backwards.
you shoot the parachutes to stop.
That's happening this weekend. The Paralympics start today. Let's go USA.
Hell yeah.
Let's go
We
USA.
have a big victory in basketball
Okay.
already. So
And rugby, I think.
Yep.
Let's go win that. Paralympics in Paris as well, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
They host both.
Yep.
Should they make them closer to each other? Because like Olympic
Yeah, you kind of lose
spirit,
that.
we lost the juice almost, and now we got 21 college football games tonight.
Yeah.
We would, if anything sweet comes from Paralympics, we will certainly talk about it, especially if the United States are winning in this entire thing. We need more wins.
They
Yeah, we
will.
do.
More gold.
We need more golds. We need more golds. We got a lot of silvers early in Olympics. Remember, that was kind of becoming the story.
Ton of bronze.
But in the end,
In the end, we did what we fucking said.
hell
we
yeah.
would.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Bingo. USA beats everybody.
Yeah.
Best country on earth. Sorry about it. Sorry about it. We'll be joined by Maverick Carter, I believe, in a matter of a few moments. He was EP of the Connor Stallions Netflix Untold Sign Stealer. If you're a Michigan fan, you watch that and you go like,
Yeah.
just like Hardball.
Yeah.
That was what he was in the thing. His lawyer who comes out and says, "I hate the NCAA.
Yeah.
I'll do this shit for free to take on the NCAA."
The man.
Kind of a dog.
Yeah, the man.
Kind of an absolute dog, the lawyer in this whole thing. But Connor Stallion's like, "I'll jump on a grenade for everybody."
Legit.
Absolutely. And he did. And
Yeah.
He absolutely did.
Military.
Rogue agent. And then they told him, like, they said to go into Michigan so he could be interviewed about it all. And his lawyer was like, "You are not going in there. There is no due process. This is not the court of law. They do not care. They will take your quotes out of, they will, you are not showing up." So then remember the whole story was he was not cooperating with the investigation in that entire thing. It's like every football team in the United States of America, from youth league through the NFL, watch that and we're like, let's get that guy on our staff.
Yeah.
That is all it was. Loved ball. I've never seen somebody that obsessed with ball.
Ever.
I don't think I've ever seen somebody as obsessive with ball as I saw in that documentary yesterday.
Yeah, it was electric. And like to your point, if you're a Michigan man and watch it, you're like, hell yeah, Michigan man. But if you're a fan of another team, you're more so thinking like, what the hell was our sign stealer guy doing? Like, if every single team had one of these guys,
No.
ours must have just been the worst one because this guy is going above and beyond.
No, I'm not sure if you heard. Michigan was the only team doing that.
Well, so if
especially from a red team in Ohio, that's what all you're hearing from them.
Well, Ohio made quite an appearance as well.
Yeah, one of those boards behind him with the strings. That was electric.
It was a phenomenal documentary. I couldn't recommend it enough. The Untold series has obviously presented a lot of greatness. This one is certainly going to be remembered as one. And with how quickly the turnaround was. That was just last season, and we get a bunch.
Yeah.
Executive producer, also LeBron James's business manager. He's a host on The Shop. He's a founder of the Spring Hill. I mean, just incredible businessman and producer. Ladies and gentlemen, Maverick Carter.
Yeah.
Mav, what up, man?
What's up, Pat? Thank you for saying that. I mean, you gave me all those things, but I could say the same right back to you. I love the show. Love what you are as a businessman, a host, and your whole staff and crew. Thank you for having me.
No, we're honored for you to even know that we exist. So I just want to let you know that that's incredibly dope. And keep doing everything you're doing, obviously leading the way for the rest of us in all of it. Let's talk about the Untold with Sign Stealer. I literally just got done singing the praises. I thought Connor Stallions was this like psychopath, out of control, whatever it was. And then I watched it. I'm like, this is the most committed human to football I've ever seen in my entire life. At what point, while you guys were creating that, did you know, like, hey, this is going to be special, this is going to be a good one? And what are your thoughts on Connor Stallions, the human, after creating that entire thing?
Connor Stallions and I have become really close friends. We talk. And maybe you guys know this. I was listening to you guys right before I came on. I am from Akron, Ohio. I'm one of the biggest Buckeye fans in the world. Connor Stallions was very nervous when I reached out to him about doing this. He obviously did not think he could trust me, but we developed a relationship, became close, and he is exactly what you said. He is the most committed, dedicated, extremely smart, extremely focused guy, one of the most focused and committed people I've ever seen. And he was committed to the University of Michigan football, and he did a great service and was great. And as lots of coaches have come out and said, it's something that everybody does. He just was the best in the country at doing it.
Yeah, and obviously Brohio has caused some conversation around people thinking that was a plant. You know, you're just a kid from Akron. There's some Ohio State people that obviously hate this documentary and everything about it. Have you heard that? Did you expect that, obviously, as an Ohio guy? And what do you think we learned from going forward from this documentary?
Listen, I hate Michigan as much as any Ohio State fan, for sure, but I love competition. And the fact of the matter is they've beaten us 3 years in a row. We're going to kick their ass this year.
Hell yeah.
I feel very good about our team and what Ryan Day and the coaches are going to do. And now we got Chip Kelly there, but they beat us fair and square. And you know, listen, every team in the country, this whole sign stealing thing and what the NCAA, their rules, obviously the NCAA is a silly organization that has no reason to exist. I don't even know why we still even talk about it. It's like I don't even know what it is or why they even matter. But the truth of the matter is Michigan beat us 3 years in a row, and they didn't cheat. They beat us on the field. We played the games, and they beat us. And Connor was a part of the reason that they beat us and last year went on to win a national championship. As much as it hurt me to watch that confetti fall, we actually had a camera. Our director was with Connor there. You guys were talking about the speed. Shout out to our team at the Spring Hill Company, our Uninterrupted, which is our sports arm, that got this done that fast. They did an amazing job, and our director, Micah, who's worked with us for many, many years.
The shot of him as the confetti's falling, and then obviously tears in his eyes, and then at the end just saying, I would do it all the exact same way again. For Michigan to win a national championship, it's like from the beginning of that doc, where he's a 3-year-old dressed up like Bo Schembechler, to the last statement, it's like this motherfucker is the most committed Michigan man of all time. Went to the military, just signed up for the military to do work at Michigan. It's like an absurd thing, and I couldn't recommend it anymore. And if you're an Ohio State fan, I think you would watch it and you would say the same thing about Connor Stallions. Dog. Yeah. Absolute dog, I think you would say.
I agree with you. He went to the military, by the way, to serve our country. So shout out to him and thank you. Thank you to everyone who serves our thank you to everyone who serves our country. But he went there really to serve Michigan, to learn how to decode, and it worked out for him. He served Michigan, and he is a smart, very smart guy very committed guy, still loves football. And as you know, it's the reason that Science Stealer debuted #1 in the country on Netflix, because it is a very fascinating doc. Thank you, guys.
Hey, that's the new thing. Like kind of the new ranking system on how success works and everything like that. It's literally right there. #1, #2, #3. Renegotiating value has to be pretty fantastic whenever the platform's actually telling you that you're beating everybody. Good luck with the next one. We're excited.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yes, we need that luck. We're going for another one for sure.
Yeah, I don't think
we actually have another one coming in starting 5. It's an NBA show coming in October. So we're going to keep it going. We're trying to keep this train going, Pat, just like you.
Oh no, we got Braun, we got Tatum, we got Ant, we got
Sabonis, and Jimmy Butler. A great cast of characters. They're great basketball players, but they're even better characters.
Oh, see, I like that. I like that, Mav. Okay, let's pivot away from the Untold series because you got so much business that you have been a part of. We got questions about. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Mav, I read that you kind of got the deal done with LeBron and Fenway Sports Group when it came to the Liverpool ownership and just the ownership as a whole, because obviously they're in a bunch of different things. What was that process kind of like? And also, when can we expect, LeBron and yourself to start the Vegas basketball team? Or is that 2 years from now, 3 years from now? When's that going to be?
That's a great question. I didn't know you guys covered the EPL on the Pat McAfee show.
I
didn't know you guys had range like that.
Oh, buddy, we got
depth.
We got depth. Journalism. They said it yesterday.
Journalism.
Yeah,
that's true. So we've been involved with Liverpool since 2011. It's been a great ride, being a part of that club. We've had lots of winning times. We had our great manager, Jurgen Klopp, who just retired and stepped down. But we've had a fun time, and Fenway Sports Group are the best. I believe, I'm biased, the best sports management company owning teams in the country, in the world, I think. And LeBron is dead set on owning an NBA team, but he's still playing, and I have no idea how much longer he's going to play. I would have thought he would be done a few years ago, but he looks, he's out there with the beard now, with the gray, still letting the young guys know Grandpops is out here still balling.
We still got the hair, though.
He's had a little bit. He's got a little bit, Pat, not much.
He's had the same, though. Feels like for 15 years now. The same exact amount of hair.
He's fighting, holding. It's the Dana White couldn't promote a better fight than he's having with.
Ty has a question for you, Mav.
Mav, are there any plans for more of like the watch-alongs that you guys did on Thursday night on Prime, have you thought about expanding that into any other things? I know there are like a couple different NBA ones, but I think a lot of people just appreciated like being able to watch something else with the Thursday night football game. So, are you guys going to do more of that stuff? Is LeBron, going to be more involved in that kind of stuff, or what's the plan there?
Thank you for asking that, and thank you for watching. We appreciate that. Yes, absolutely. We're going to bring the shop live. It's called the Shop Live. We did it Thursday Night Football with Amazon. We have more planned. We're going to looking at expanding that into college football, some NBA. But absolutely, we're going to do that. And whenever LeBron's done playing, I think he'll do a bit more of that. Actually, a lot more of that. But that definitely is in the works. And thank you for watching and enjoying it. I really have fun with that. We really do love football. We're Ohio kids, LeBron and myself. We actually love football as our first love. I love football the most. I would say he does too. And doing that is a lot of fun for us. And we do, the wine is real, so we do get a little tipsy and have a little fun. So as the show goes on,
you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do that. I had about 30 beers in Dublin on air last Friday. The whole town knew. Yeah, the whole town knew. What you guys have done with the shop has been really cool. That has been, I tell Peyton this too, because Peyton has the ability to have access to the people that most people don't. So LeBron and you guys utilizing the access to help sports fans with the conversations and stars and celebrities, incredibly cool that you guys utilize that for the good of everybody. So I hope you guys continue to go and continue to make and continue to lead the way. It'll be incredible. Last question from us to you, Mav. Tone has it for you.
Yeah, Mav. A lot of people don't believe us when we say that Brian Windhorst was actually the best basketball player on that St. Vincent St. Mary team when Brian was teammates with LeBron. Can you confirm that for us?
I always give Brian shit about this because Brian never even went inside the gym at St. Vincent St. Mary. His mom was our health teacher, though, Miss Windhorse, who I knew. Brian's a little older than me, but he never even went in the gym. And the one fact, a little brag, and I never really do this. I was a senior when LeBron was a freshman. We went 27-0 and won the state title, and finished like 16th in the nation. LeBron obviously went on to have a fantastic basketball career. It turned out pretty well. But I'm still the only player that ever played with LeBron and won the MVP, and he did not. Wow. So that is a fact.
Ladies and gentlemen, an incredible businessman. Hey, let's make sure we're focusing on the fucking Pittsburgh Penguins, too, man.
And the Red Sox.
Okay, let's make sure we are. All right, maybe LeBron's on skates.
Yeah, there
whenever
you go.
he's done. Maybe we do this entire thing. But obviously, MVP of this Ohio State high school champion basketball team, Mav Carter. We appreciate you, Mav.
Thank you guys for having me. I love the show.
Hey, we appreciate the hell out of you, Mav. Keep doing it, man. All right, what a time.
Yeah.
Just Mav Carter coming on.
Doing it all.
Pretty sweet.
That Bro Ohio thing has caused quite a story because they think it's a plant. Because I saw one particular account saying, Bro Ohio's got a Wolverine on his desk? Okay. Okay.
Wow.
I guess there's a Wolverine in the corner of the shot. It might have been AI. Once again, you don't know what's real and what isn't real.
Idea.
I didn't notice it. But when that Bro Ohio character showed up with the sunglasses on, in the full, it wasn't even a ski mask. It was like a different mask that I've ever seen somebody do an interview in. I'm like, classic Ohio, first of all. I was like, is that AJ Hawk? And I saw the traps weren't anywhere near
the hands weren't all
what it
screwed
was.
up.
But like the way it all went down, and they accused some Ohio Stater for hacking into his database, and that's a breach that is actually federal law there. Telling the NCAA, don't you think you should be worrying about like the federal breach that was potentially taken? Like, that documentary was, I'm telling you, it was great. I
think it's the best Untold they've done.
Trashers, maybe?
Yeah, I guess that would be
with the Galante family.
Recently, I haven't thought they've been as good as early on. It seemed like every single one was very good, and I didn't know what to expect from this one either because it was such a quick turnaround. It was one of those things where it's like, okay, maybe they're just capitalizing on how big of a story this was, but it was incredibly well done, and we might not have learned a bunch of new stuff, but I think it being like a very interesting character study on Connor Stallions, the man, was awesome.
Yeah.
Pete should have been in it.
Pete Thamel was in it. He was in it.
He was.
We were in it a bunch too, and I didn't bring it up to Matt.
No,
like, you just used it. Hey,
sit down.
I appreciate you just using our stuff because then we just ran your shit.
Yeah.
And Netflix didn't say anything. No. Mav didn't say anything. That's good. Hey, that's good business, baby.
Yeah, there you go.
That's good business, baby. But we were in there a lot. I felt like honored to be a part of it as I was watching it. And I was listening back to what we said. I think we covered it pretty fairly.
Truly.
I think we covered it pretty fairly in this entire thing with what some other people were saying.
For sure. And we had the luxury of having Thamel come on. And
we had Buckeye Pete come on too much.
Exactly.
Crazy.
So.
Yesterday, we missed the show because I had to travel up to ESPN's campus to do a town hall type event with a bunch of journalists. And it was a good time. It was great to see everybody. I'll tell you what, I love the people that are running ESPN right now. I loved reorg. And it was a blast all the way up until he said, journalistic standards. See you next hour. Okay, sports media. Okay.
Hi, how's it going? My name's Pat McAfee. Used to hold balls for Adam Vinatieri. Now I'm in his home state. College game day is absolutely electric. In Brookings, South Dakota. Let's go!
College game day has made the voyage to Brookings, South Dakota to experience a game with the best fans in college football. I unfortunately cannot attend because I have a game this Sunday, so I sent a man I trust to make my picks. A man who was my holder for almost a decade. Please be nice to him. Welcome this week's celebrity guest picker, Pat McAfee.
Go big, go blue, go Jacks.
Hosting Auburn. Yes, everybody saw this. The best fake punt in the world. What do you think, Pat?
I absolutely loved it all the way up until execution time. That is not what we like to show in the brand headquarters in punting and kicking world.
Oh, dance off. Oh, let's get weird. Yes. Duck that, huh?
Bang! right off the top of the dome. That makes it a lot easier when you got a dummy standing right in front of you like that.
Running. He's Aiyuk! Daniel Russo.
Wax on, wax off, knee to the face.
World Series.
Go, yes.
These teams stink. With that 15, they celebrate by doing shotguns. And I'm a big fan of that. I'm going with the University of Virginia Cavaliers. That was great. Whoa! I will never, ever in the history of my life bet against that ball. Oklahoma State is the winner here. Not so fast again.
But I'm going with Trey.
Please excuse my dumb friend Kirk. You look at this crowd, they've been out here since 4 a.m. College game day comes to town, they lose their mind. The population of this state is about 800,000, and when the Jackrabbits take the field, they're alongside all 800,000 South Dakotans. The Dakota marker was in Fargo for far too long. Today, 5 o'clock local time, the Dakota marker is back in beautiful Brookings, South Dakota. Terry School. They might be the Jackrabbits, but they're the GOATs today. Ladies and gentlemen, South Dakota State with the win.
Give me that place in.
No, don't do that. No, leave.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this, there's 21 college football games tonight, Thursday, August 29, 2024. Hour 2 of the program starts now. Football is happening tonight, and we can't wait to talk about it all. The Toxic Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Sweet hat, brother.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I bought about 15 of them over in Ireland just to have.
Hey, Ireland, we are a few days removed from being inside of you. We still want to say thank you.
Thank you, Ireland. Miss you, Ireland.
On our trip up to Bristol, ESPN's campus yesterday, all Connor was doing is, when are we going back to Ireland?
Have to.
When are we going back to Ireland? Have to go back to Ireland. We can't wait to get back there. I can't say enough good things about Dublin, Ireland.
Can't.
You know? And I don't know how many people have thought to themselves, I should go to Dublin, Ireland. But if you haven't thought it, add it to the list. Go over to Dublin. It is awesome. It's old school. Mm-hmm. It was a great time. They understand what's about to happen. They got live music everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, it is, thank you. In 5 million viewers, Florida State, Georgia Tech, they were the host of all of that. Everything that took place. Biggest week 0 of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Dublin's the host. You deserve all the praise that you've got, Dublin.
NFL's going next year.
Has to.
I'm willing to bet if there was a line on that, I would bet on the NFL having a game over there.
They have to. One half of the hammer, Dahn. Cowboys, Tone Diggs is here. 12-year NFL vet, Universal Records signed rapper. Pac-Man Jones is here. Good to see you, Pac. Heading to West Virginia tomorrow, Pac-Man. Big weekend in Morgantown. Everybody's it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be so cool to see everybody.
Yeah, it's gonna be even better if we win.
Now,
country road, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home.
Taking a plane. not driving on country roads. But we will be back there tomorrow. A lot of guests coming through, surprise guests stopping by. I think we're going to have Pat White, Noah Schmidt co-host with us the entirety of it. Garrett Green, who's going to be a running wild brother all season long. People have him as a dark horse Heisman candidate because in the Big 12, if West Virginia beats Penn State here, okay, that's a massive win. Obviously a massive win for the Big 12, too, over Big 10, which has season-long implications, especially with the 12-team playoff, and all that's going to be judged on how many teams make it from each conference. I mean, it's a big deal. Penn State wins. It's huge for the Big 10 and huge for Penn State, ranked number 8 right now as well with the 12-team playoff not being able to sneak in. But if that dude does what he has done basically every time he's been on a football field, which is run wild, brother. He is a dog. He's a leader. He was the one that was hosting the gathering after the spring game, and the gathering is obviously a camaraderie chemistry building cookout. That's all it was. Not a party. No. Not a party. It's a camaraderie chemistry building cookout.
That's right.
And that might be an exact phrase that I used to Rich Rodriguez whenever I was called into his office the day after the last day of our training camp, where there was a camaraderie chemistry building cookout that happened at my house, where people may have got arrested after leaving. And I was told by Rich Rodriguez, I've heard 5 different stories about that. And they all start at your motherfucking house. And I said, no, it was a duplex. It's a duplex, so could have been anywhere. I had a camaraderie chemistry building cookout, you see. And I don't know what was that. We did have a good time. I will say we did have a good time. Team did have a good time. I think it was good, and obviously none of that other stuff. Oh, that's sweet. 6 a.m. fucking stairs, whole stadium. Week, okay? I'm like, season's starting right now. Yep, this is on you, not on me. But those times back at West Virginia, obviously shake me forever. Coach Barwis, the strength coach there, Coach Rod, that entire staff, Coach Stu, obviously, that team, that place, helped create the human I am. I'm very thankful for everything that I learned in Morgantown, even the incredibly hard times where I wanted to disappear after letting down my teammates, my family, the school, the state, you name it. I thought about ending it all at that point, so obviously that's not necessarily the easiest thing to kind of stare head on, but what I learned in Morgantown, I've carried for the rest of my life, and has helped me every single day. And tomorrow, the fact that Monongalia County schools, K through 12, are shut down, and the fact that basically everybody that we've ever heard of that has been associated with West Virginia is coming back to Morgantown with the biggest home opener since 1998. It's like, I can't wait to celebrate the shit out of West Virginia tomorrow, and we're lucky that we're going to be able to do it. Joining us now is a man who went to Ohio State. A man who might be Bro-Hio from the Untold Sign-Stealing documentary. Ladies and gentlemen, the former president of Ohio, A.J. Hawk. Hawker, shit's about to be crazy in Morgantown. I know you're not going to be there. Clay Matthews, teammate, I believe, going into the Packers Ring of Honor. Celebrate the shit out of that, hopefully. It's going to be insane there. But I would like to turn our attention to what we talked about at the end of the first hour, because obviously you are going to be so incredibly tight with this. Connor Stallions is a guy that if he was on the...
I'm not Bro-Hio, for the record, though. Before you start, I'm not Bro-Hio.
Really?
Okay.
Ticker.
You owe me 20.
Yeah.
Breaking.
I'm not. I don't understand why I think he may have, you don't have to completely dress up like that and completely, make yourself not known. But I think,
Embarrassed Ohio.
I give him credit, I guess.
Embarrassed Ohio. Are you saying Bro-Hio embarrassed Ohio?
No, I think it's great theater. I think it is great. It is great. It was a great documentary. I agree. Maverick Carter did a great job. But also, you didn't have to throw Wendy under the bus. We know Wendy was dunking from the free throw line. We know that.
Wendy was breaking three-point records like he was Caitlin Clark back there at St. Vincent. We understand that. Let's get back to the documentary, which you tried to move away from right there. If Connor Stallions was a member of the Ohio State Buckeyes, Ohio State Buckeye fans would actually run into gunshots for Connor Stallions with the way he talked about Michigan. That was my biggest takeaway. This is the biggest Michigan man of all time. This is the most committed to football guy I've ever seen. And was there ever a thought that he had a hobby or anything other than football in that documentary? I didn't see it, if it happened. And what were your thoughts? What's your takeaway? And how quickly is Connor Stallions signed to an NFL staff after watching that documentary?
Yeah, you would think. I wonder how other college staffs and NFL staffs would think about bringing a guy in like him, like what people might think about it. But I had a coach that told me, hey, you want to be a soldier for the cause. And Connor Stallions is an absolute soldier for the cause when it comes to Michigan. And I would assume any team that he is part of. So, yeah, that's when it's on your side, yeah, you love those guys. You don't want them breaking the rules or whatever's going on. I still don't know exactly what happened after watching the documentary. I'm not sure what he thinks even happened, but it was fun to watch.
Yeah, does he think he did anything that crossed the line?
I don't think he thinks that. I think he thinks like he was, may have pushed the line, but I think he feels like he was justified.
How about them saying like there's like a black market of these intels that are meeting around the college landscape? We got no real like undercover footage of that, other than being told that it's happening, which we all assume it is happening. And if that is the case, Connor Stalions had to go into those meetings and just be like, I'm smarter than all of you, right? Like that was who he was competing against, seemingly in his head, probably.
I guess. I mean, there's no way anyone else put the time that he put in to figure all this stuff out. We know that.
We're talking about being obsessed with your craft, Yeah. Like you can say whatever you want about the guy. Is there something off about the guy? I assume.
A little bit.
I'd assume. Is it a guy you're hanging out with every single day? I don't know. I legitimately have no idea.
He doesn't have time. Yeah.
I don't know if he's hanging out with anybody. But if you are running a business or a team and you have one of those guys on staff, you are so elated. And I don't think Harbaugh's asking many questions. I don't think there's a lot of questions coming from Harbaugh, which leads me to continue to say that I don't think Harbaugh knew exactly everything that was taking place. But I think Harbaugh very much understood, like,
this guy's a weapon.
This guy, this is helping. How about it when he was at Navy? When he was at Navy, they pulled that clip of him standing next to Coach Niamatolodo, and he is literally doing the exact same thing we see on all the clips. And then Mav and the people that made the documentary just drop in a little. When he was at Navy, by the way, greatest 4-year span in the history of naval football. Like, just not even. And it's like, this guy, weapon, absolute weapon.
The impact he has had on college football, it's crazy to think. Like, he's a name that people will bring up 20 years from now. I'm like, oh, yeah, I do remember that guy.
Now, it was stupid. We all agree that in 2023, 2022, 2021, 2020, let's go from 2005 on, that they were still doing the full song and dance with the big sheets behind.
The dumb sheets to hide from the press box, all of that stuff. Yeah,
stupid.
It is crazy.
I was about to ask, is that gone now that they have the in-helmet stuff?
Yeah, and they basically, at the end of the documentary, it says the quarterback communication to coach has effectively ended the sign-stealing era. And they say that the rule is being considered by many the Stallions rule going in there. So, like, one last little, like, hey, let's remember.
Should have happened a long time ago. Should have happened a long time ago when the NFL did it.
Bingo. I think that's my big takeaway from watching it. It's like, I guess they were kind of setting themselves up for this type of maniac. Absolute obsessed. I don't think he was ever going to become a head coach. And I hate to break that news to him. But I think he would have been like Ernie
Adams, yeah.
Yeah, he would have been like an Ernie Adams for somebody that would become a head coach. I don't know if he ever becomes head coach, which I know was a dream of his, but like I think he becomes certainly consultant, analyst, advisor, everything for somebody. And I think that's going to happen very soon. I know he's coaching at a high school in Detroit right now. I don't know how long that's happening. With that manifesto, AJ, that manifesto, we just saw one page of it, that United States of America, where players have been drafted from, what towns, what schools are recruiting in those towns. It's like that's finding out what schools have found like hotbeds of talent that they keep quiet, like fishing holes. Like there's like fishing holes where, like Kevin Van Dam knows where every good fishing hole is on every piece of water.
In the world.
But those fishing holes are something that are completely guarded by these high-end anglers. It's like, I'm not letting anybody know where my fishing hole is. There are schools that have like towns and places where they're like, we have a high school that is got good coach, good program. Nobody else really scouts them. It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. Then he's got this manifesto that's like, this school is plucking this many draftees out of this particular high school. And he has that for every school, for every town since 2010 getting drafted. It's like the amount of effort and time to just do that, let alone the 2,000 to 3,000 signs that he's taking pictures of. And it's like, how'd this guy get this all done? He had to be Adderalled out of his mind. We're talking, what, 2 hours of sleep, maybe 3 hours of sleep, this guy, for how many, 10 straight years? He was sleeping in his car. This dude was Airbnb in his house, sleeping in a car on the side of the road. He was using Airbnb money so that he could fly to Michigan on the weekends for the games and try to earn their respect and appreciation while he was still in the military. when did this guy didn't? He slept an hour and a half probably with all the shit that I have no idea how this human exists at the level that he does. Once again, weapon of a human if you're a football operation.
That, and I think he's not going to get credit for it, but like this guy's uber intelligent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like beyond, like he was saying, like when he was at Navy, like, I mean, I'm not the smartest guy, but I think I'm smarter than the people on the, like, you don't just stumble into the Naval Academy. It's incredibly hard to get in there. And then he was, doing recon stuff when he was in the Marines. Like, he's a code breaker. Like, that's what, like, if he would have stayed in the military, you could probably see this guy getting, like, a very high, I mean, who knows, he ends up being, like, a spy, like, getting in espionage. Like, that's but he had an addictive personality towards football. Like, so I don't think he gets credit for that, because I think it's one of those things where it's like, Goodwill Hunting or whatever. It's like, hey, he just sees it and knows exactly how to decipher it. And there are very few people whose minds work that way. So, like, obviously he's putting in all this time, but I think it's one of those things too, where he saw stuff and he was just like, oh, I just get this. I get it. And I can just, and now I'm just going to go.
Him saying, I mean, if you use a sign once and then use it again, I'm going to know. And it's like just one time.
Yeah.
Like, you just in the first quarter you see something, and then second quarter they go to do it again. They do this like immediately. That was before he had the full song. And when he was at Navy, oh my God! And they just told him like, hey, maybe be a sign decipher. Ah, shit, I'll give it a go.
Good. You think he wanted to be a head coach? Do you think that was you think that's still probably his plan? I guess if he's a coordinator now. He thinks that.
He's a D coordinator at a high school team, and I think that high school team did exactly what I did after meeting him. Like, high school, they still signal.
Yeah.
They're gonna win by 1,000. Mm-hmm. I don't know if another team's gonna score.
No chance.
You know what I mean? They're gonna have to run to the sideline. And then give the play call in the huddle, and then they're gonna have to do it because some high school signs. Think about what high school signs are.
Yeah, he's gonna be able to.
You got 3 coverages, right, on the defensive side.
They don't
cover 3.
Yeah, and they barely huddle. They stand out and they signal from the sidelines a lot. Yeah, so now you are.
Have to do
they're gonna have to get creative.
Detroit High School is on watch, all of them.
Good luck.
Connor Stallions has come to town, and that is going to be a easy picking. I mean, he's going to know. Oh my God!
He already does. He already knows every team in the state signs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they give me video of other teams because they know that this is my gimmick thing, and I tell them, I already know. Thanks. You just gave me a gift I already had. Okay, thanks.
You don't even have to steal it in high school. It's all on Huddle. Like, he can just go on the internet.
When I was coaching in high school, you were allowed to advance scout too, so I don't know if...
Oh, Connor Stallions has been to every school 4 times.
Yeah, exactly.
He's actually been painted like the track. He painted himself like the track at one of their training camp practices. Like, he had a strip down the middle of his back and everything. He was just laying there like this somehow. He snuck in there. How about them saying, was that you at the Central Michigan game? I don't recall.
Yeah.
And then the lady was like, you don't recall if you were at the Central Michigan game? He answered the question. He said he didn't recall.
Yep.
Also, somebody broke into his computer. That's like a federal law. You need to be investigating that. We have no more time. Thanks. And then they sign off. And important was like, yeah, it was him. He told me that was him.
That part's so weird. Like, that whole part still, I have no clue what was going on there. Like, that, I know there's, Michigan staffers there, but man, what a weird situation.
Did you know that he was in the back of some of the pizza reviews? I had no idea that was happening.
I remember them talking about that, but no.
Really?
Mean, that was at like the height of, like, hey, this guy's cheating and he's trying to bring Michigan down.
Yeah, Portnoy is just doing we're at his whole pizza thing, and then Connor Stallions with a hat walks out of the pizza place and just walks through the background. Like old buddy did, agent that's not allowed to be an agent.
St. Omni.
St. Omni, potentially.
In Laramie Tunzel.
In Laramie Tunzel interview, walks through the back. Connor Stallions was doing that to like 3 to 4 different pizza reviews. I had no idea that was taking place. We should have covered that a little bit better. Where the fuck was Pete?
Yeah, good question.
Seriously.
Where was Pete Thamel in this entire thing?
Holding their water.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is obviously an icon, a legend, a human that is, in the Vikings Ring of Honor. Should be a Hall of Famer. Should be a Hall of Famer, and that needs to happen ASAP. Not only because of what he did on the field, in the community, but because he's just an absolute legend of a human. When he went into the Vikings Ring of Honor, he rode a fucking horse.
Sick. Incredible. That's
awesome.
Rode a horse onto the field.
Retirement announcement.
This guy used to everywhere. He's the one that made our friend Dano poop his pants while running out of the back of an Enzo.
Sure. Friend.
Ladies and gentlemen, the face of the USA Mullet Championships, which are announcing their winners in a matter of moments.
Whoa.
Friend of the program, Jared Allen.
Yay!
How you doing, man?
Doing good. Always good to be on the show, Pat. Appreciate you having me.
How's life? You look like you're still in phenomenal shape. Are we ranching still? What have you been up to?
Yeah, well, just doing a little farming or gardening, roping still, all the fun stuff. Try to stay active. A little wake surfing in the summer. I did start working out. I bought a free motion machine, so I'm like on the executive, total like, whatever these are, whatever these motions are.
Look at you, an old suit. All of a sudden, we're still ranching though. We're still roping a little bit. We hop on that pony and let that thing ride for a little bit. Let's handle some business that we need to. The 2024 USA Mullet Championship winners, and here are the prizes. There's 3 division. There's a kids division. First place takes home $5,000. Teens $1,000. Then adults division $5,000. Also a custom championship title. GoPro. Some more. This is a massive ordeal. There was how many entries? They're talking like thousands.
Tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands of entries across the United States. All in doing so have raised $150,000, this year, for Jared Allen's Home for Wounded Warriors, taking care of the vets. So obviously it's judging a great helmet on somebody, a hairstyle that revolves around discipline and commitment and flow,
care
and moxie and care. And also there's a lot of different times through that growth where you look like an asshole. So you have to have a certain mindset about life in you. A mulleted person is a special person. Connor, I know you feel that way.
I mean, it's like a snowflake. Every mullet's different. It's not like you're getting the same one on every person. Every head is different, and that's why it's such a special hairstyle.
All right, Jared, let's announce the kids division winner, shall we? Congratulations to Camden Cunningham. Jared, I know you love these mullets, and obviously some of these kids have great hair, and congrats to Brody and to Killian. But Camden's hair mixed with the glasses and the moxie probably put him over top here, you think, Jared?
Absolutely. And then, I get the pleasure of reading their mullet stories as well, right? So they always write on their profile, kind of what led them to the life of rocking a mullet. And a lot of these kids have had it since birth, so they're killing it better than I am, But yeah, I try to look at an overall totality of things when we're deciding a lot of it. So it's votes, how much money you raise, and then judges' votes. But when I'm judging, I'm always looking at like, how many different environments can I put this mullet in, right? Is it a single facet mullet? Okay. Or can this like cross just boundaries? Can it be in the boardroom? Can it be on a ranch? Can it be, freaking catfish noodling, whatever?
Yep.
So, I mean, this kid's out of control.
I've gone noodling before. I have fisted a fish. We could talk about that a different time. I got burnt on my back because you're doing a lot of this in the water in that entire thing. 3rd-degree burns, no big deal. Shout out to South Carolina. He's from Sawyersville, Pennsylvania. Mullet nickname, the Commander.
Yeah, I like that.
Perfect.
We are Commanders. Raised $6,000, over $6,000. Brody Byrne, he has a great mullet nickname, Hair to Party.
Sure.
And then Killian, 3 years old. 3 years old, coming in 3rd place.
Nice.
Phenomenal work. All right, let's get to the teen division winners. Congratulations to Mason Padilla. What a win for the 13-year-old. Logan Lease comes in 2nd place, and Chasen Sachs comes in 3rd. Jared, what are your thoughts here on the teen mullet competition and these winners here?
This one was tough because Chasen, I believe he was in the top 5 last year, and dude decided just not to even cut. He got length. He went full length, right? So from him last year to this year is insane. The teen mullet is near and dear to my heart because, as you guys know, the teenage years are the most awkward years already. So to have the balls to just rock a kick-ass mullet all through middle school is just, hats off, all. They're all winners.
Hell yeah.
But again, I got it with Mason. The overall flow from front to back, the continuity of the hair is really what stuck out to me. And I'm a Racing Stripes fan, right? Because I used to throw a Racing Stripe in my mullet for every sack I got. So anybody that throws a few Racing Stripes in there, I'm all on board with.
Hey, that's Cards Against Humanity, the game. You're trying to find what is the funniest to the person that is deciding what is the funniest. Not what you find the funniest. You got to play the judge.
That's right.
Jared Allen puts a couple Racing Stripes in there. Not a bad idea by Mason Padilla. Also, I like the grin.
Absolutely.
I like the grin. And also the bounce. There's some good bounce.
The volume.
There's some good bounce to Mason. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's turn our attention to the adult 2024 mullet champion, Todd Grubb.
Yeah, Todd.
Todd, baby. Wow. Holy shit, Todd. you should be incredibly proud. He's got good length and obviously good bounce and good hair color flow. Kind of a what's that called?
Just for men?
Salt and pepper?
No, pepper. Ombre. It's kind of an ombre kind of hair color change as it goes from the top all the way down to the bottom.
Sweet.
Which I love there. Scott Salvador from New York. Congrats on second place. And then Holden Stevanic. I don't know.
Holden got
He's not taking it serious. Holden's making it a joke out of it.
What?
I mean, his nickname, the Rebellious Ruffles. So
He's got a
money.
Jeff Gordon jacket
Now-
on. He's not making a joke out of anything.
Let's go ahead and look down the bottom.
This was the toughest division right here to judge. So Scott won it back-to-back years, and he lost out for the Triple Crown by a 0.5 percentage point after the calculations came in from fan votes, money raised, and judging. But Todd, man, I mean, I want to be Todd Grubb when I grow up. You know what I mean? I mean, look at that.
Amen.
That dude he must live in Florida.
$20,000 money raised. This guy really wanted to help out the vets.
Look at that. He can't be from Michigan.
Looks like Capaccio.
How about mullet nickname? Flow motion for me.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like flow motion a lot.
You see Scott's the Lord's drapes.
Oh, geez.
That's unbelievable.
Oh, he's back-to-back champ.
Yeah, makes sense.
Oh, my God. Scott, incredible performance out of you.
Hell yeah.
Just want to let you know. Because to be able to keep it that healthy, for multiple years now, not an easy thing to do. Got obviously condition, then I have to wash, then I have to pamper.
Some oils in there.
You get it, all that stuff. Jared, you still rocking a mullet down there?
Oh, absolutely. So I'll be honest. It was down to about here, and then I got a little summer trim up, and they took a little too much off. I cried a little bit, but
that'll happen.
we're rocking it. We're rocking it till we're in the grave.
Yeah, Connor didn't go back to a barber that would come to our office for 6 months because he trimmed too much off the bottom.
Messed up. Finally got back
without asking.
Yeah, Connor, it's a balance, right? Because you got the top, sides, back, all got to be cohesive, and if you take too much off the back, it's just like it's fighting words.
Yeah, it's not trim the bush too much, pal. Okay.
Exactly.
But then they're saying, well, you got split ends down here. I'm trying to keep your hair as healthy as possible. It's like, I don't care how big the bush is.
at all.
I just keep that thing going. I don't care how healthy that thing
Never have, never will.
Just keep it rolling down there. Yours looks good, as does yours. I do appreciate the fact that it's going to get back to full length so that when you're on those horses, that shit can fly.
Yep.
The last time we saw you on a pony was with the Minnesota Vikings. Let's talk about the Minnesota Vikings, and then we'll pivot around the NFL. Obviously, what happens to J.J. McCarthy, bummed out about it. Kirk Cousins, obviously now an Atlanta Falcons. Sam Darnold on a $10 million contract. You just do Justin Jefferson's contract and put him into a rightfully earned contract that's massive. Kevin O'Connell has seemingly been a great coach since he's gotten the opportunity. What are your thoughts on the Vikings, and how closely are you paying attention to everything right now as we're getting into the season kickoff?
As a total NFL, not too much, just enough to not be an idiot when I talk to you guys.
Sweet. We appreciate that.
But from the Vikings standpoint, I like what they're moving. The J.J. McCarthy thing was sad. It's unfortunate. I think he has a bright upside, especially with with Kevin O'Connell. I think O'Connell's going to do a great job, and Kwesi and everybody there. I really like where the Vikings are at from a leadership standpoint. I think Sam Darnold's got some. I think he's got some upside. I think he shows spurts of being able to be the guy people wanted him to be. So hopefully he can pull that together. And to be honest, I was actually more impressed with what the Vikings did up front. I think they're trying to solidify their line. Unfortunately, we lost Hunter. Daniil was one of my favorite pass rushers to watch. So that's sad. But I think the new guys, the new acquisitions we brought in, we're going to be young on the defensive side. We're going to be fast. We're going to have a good, good ability to get after the quarterback up front from multiple angles. And then from the offensive side, I think, look at him. We got Hawk, we got TJ, and we got Jefferson. And I think being able to just get the ball out of Sam's hand, runs the play action, get the ball out of his hands, and let your playmakers play. So I think we'll be okay. Like I said, it's unfortunate, but long term it might be the best thing for JJ to be able to sit back and not feel so pressure, especially coming in from behind Kurt, where we had some playoff years, we had some missed opportunities. So hindsight might be all right, and wish them all the best.
Yeah, I guess there's no pressure to put them in week 10 or something like that if Sam's not playing great, and he'll get an entire year to it's already been decided. You're going to have an entire
and you take the pressure off of Sam, right? He's sitting here in a so-called quarterback battle with a top 10 pick. It's not really much of a battle. I mean, we saw it with Christian Ponder when we took him 12 overall, right? I mean, I think McNabb had a couple hiccups, and it was like, we got to put the first rounder, and he might not have been ready to go. And so, again, I think sometimes, players get put in a position based on their draft pick to no fault of their own to where they're not quite ready. And I think it takes a good coach and a good leadership system to manage that. And like I said, maybe this one took care of itself. And now Sam doesn't have pressure on him. He can go out there and perform hopefully at the best of his ability and give us a chance to win.
You talk about good coach. Let's talk about B-Flow on the defensive side. He's loved by everybody that he's ever coached, except for down in Miami, I guess.
Yeah.
Except for down in Miami, but on the that was the whole thing just a week ago. But nonetheless, everybody that plays for him loves playing defense for him. They love what his defense brings. What does he do, you think, that you've noticed that's a little bit different than everybody else? And how much have defenses changed since you were playing to now?
Oh, I don't think the defensive schemes have changed. The players have changed, right? So the coaches have had to adapt to a very specialized type of player. We were 3-4 down players. You had to play the run, you had to play the pass. Now it seems like, it's kind of like a shift change every now and then. Borderline hockey. Sometimes you see these packages come in. But what I think Flores is doing is he's aggressive. And I love it. He's aggressive to a fault. There's probably times where he shouldn't be so aggressive, and he's aggressive. So I think from that standpoint, that always gives you a chance. Again, you're going to live or die by it, so might as well go after them all the way. And as far as defenses today, I think, like I said, I think some of it's more specialized, but you still look like what they're doing in Pittsburgh, right? Pittsburgh, those dudes are just they're getting after it. Minnesota, even last year, you saw more traditional stuff with Daniil, getting him back with his hands on the ground. You got some of these defenses. I think Cincinnati does a great job of still using their big guys up front.
Cleveland,
to get after the quarterback and not so much, have a specialized system. I was did some consulting with Denver last year and got to see kind of how they used athletes different. So I think a lot of times instead of, gearing it towards a certain, formation or stuff, you kind of gear your defenses to highlight your athletes. We had Nick Bonito and Cooper and stuff down there. And, I kind of saw how they got to use those guys a little differently. So I think defensive coordinators are taking a familiar approach that we all kind of know from football, but understanding the athletes are totally different what they were 8, 10, 15 years ago. And so they're planning certain things around to get certain guys loose. And you got to try to not expect guys to fit into your mold. You kind of got to be able to shift your program to get what's best out of your player.
Jared, you would have been an all-pro nowadays.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It would have been sweet. Would have been nice to see you off the ball, though. Let those hands get to work. Go ahead, AJ.
Jared, you said you were consulting for the Broncos. Is that something you've done for multiple teams? And what does that mean? You go in there during camp and teach them how to pass rush or what?
Yeah, last year. So George Payton, the GM, and and Sean Payton, obviously, I know Sean for playing against him, but George was with us in Minnesota. So yeah, I kind of went in there a handful of times throughout the year, 6 to 8 times, came into camp a little bit, work with some of the coaches on pass rush, get to work directly with the players. It's the only team I've ever done. I did it for just kind of, Sean had asked me just see if I want to dip my toe in the coaching world to see if I like it.
What you think?
Too many hours. The hours. What I did was perfect. I wasn't responsible for being there, from sun up to sundown. So I don't think you need to put that many hours into football, to be honest with you. It's not rocket science. We're running into people. See ball, get ball. Let's hit some people and get it done. So, but it was cool to see how the information flows, right? How, from the player standpoint, to be sitting in the coaching standpoint and see how each position has an impact on each situation and how the information flows down to your players. Well, it was really cool. It was a good learning experience. But I really enjoy working hands-on with the players. Right? I like teaching pass rush. I like teaching, that skill set and the evolution of football, even from the run standpoint, and giving young guys the veteran nuances that can help them out. So from that standpoint, it was really cool. But from the hour standpoint, my kids are used to seeing me, so I'm trying to let them know this is still dad. I don't want to disappear on them.
Yeah, every coach that's ever gone into the Hall of Fame, which they just changed the rule to 1 year. The reason why they changed the rule for the Hall of Fame candidacy for coaches to 1 year is because they're worried all these guys are going to die. They're going to coach until they're 90. Tom Moore he said, they're going to have to drag me off this thing. I think he said in a box,
toes up
and feet first off this. That's how football coaches are, though. That's why I watched that Connor Stallions documentary and I'm like, this is one of them. This is one of them.
Yeah. They're obsessed.
Every ex-player that did not get into coaching that comes on this show, and we ask them about coaching, AJ can attest to this, every single one of them go, who has the fucking time?
Right.
It's an absurd thing. We appreciate you coaches, though.
Hell yeah.
We don't think it's a necessity, which is also something that every single player has ever said. But we appreciate what you guys do. Speaking of players, great players, Tone has a question about one of them.
Yeah, Jared, I believe you went against Trent Williams a couple times in your career. How bad do you think the Jets D-line is wanting Trent Williams to keep his holdout going through week one? And how much did you love when there was a backup tackle in there for the week? Was it just feasting time?
Ooh, it's a great question. So I actually talked to someone about this the other day. Trent has always been a good player, right? When I was playing, it's funny because he's played so long now. He's like the greatest that there is. But to answer that question directly, I always preferred to go against the guy I had film on. So I love playing against Trent. I was successful against Trent. He's a good player. I like his tenacity. I think he's had a fantastic career. So if I'm the only problem is if you're the Jets D line and all you've been watching is Trent Williams film, you have a plan for that, right? And then all of a sudden you got a backup tackle that you've never seen film on. You have no clue what he's going to do. Sometimes some guys are just so bad that they get in your way, and that's tough to deal with. So I was always a believer in technique beats technique. So I want somebody like a Trent Williams who's going to be left on an island. I want somebody who has enough bravado to want to be left on that island one-on-one and not ask for help all the time. So now if I remember when we played the Packers and they had a backup tackle for like 5 weeks running, now it's opened the floodgates because you got film on guys that aren't so good.
Hey, can you talk a little bit about like the amount of like cerebral attitude you have to being a pass rusher? Because everybody sees the spin move, everybody sees the move, but Dwight Freeney, I was very lucky to be teammates with Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis. Dwight Freeney just won the Hall of Fame. Congratulations, brother.
Hell yeah, Dwight.
Congratulations, Dwight. And it was a good time over there in Canton, even though they had a rain delay. And this man should be getting in a matter of years, if not next year in its entirety. But like watching and listening to them talk about it, whether it's like having dinner or at a card game or something, and like me just being from Pittsburgh, which is a sports town, but never really playing defense or offense at a football town without playing. I didn't know the amount of like, oh yeah, we're going to hit him for the first quarter like this, not expecting to get a win. Yep. But then we're going to hit him with this. And then all of a sudden we got him guessing, and then bang, we hit him on a third down whenever and it's like you're setting him up pretty much at all times. It's a real chess match. It's a chess match.
It's a constant chess match. There's actually a statistic back when I first got in the league that if you won 1 out of every 17 pass rushes, that would give you like 17 and a half sacks for the year. So your battle was, what do you do with your 16 failures, right? And so it's a constant chess match. It's a constant, knowing, like you said, you're always trying to win, but I'm always setting up my next move. So we call them rhythm breakers. So I want to get the offensive tackle in a rhythm, right? I want to show them the same setup, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 times, and then I might take a half a step in and give him the exact same rush, but now he's overkicked me, so I'm going to take him to the inside. So, always messing with your alignment, always messing with how I can get his shoulders turned. And again, it's all about those rhythm breakers. Now, every once in a while you get a fish and anything you work, it works. But for the most part, you kind of know exactly what you're trying to, like, if I'm going to try to stop his inside half, and you just call that with target or activity. I either need to put my hands on him or I need to shake and get him to stop that inside foot, shoot his outside hand. We can chop, flip around. So it's an art form. It really is. And Dwight was one of the best at being able to push so fast vertical that, as soon as he get their shoulders turned, his spin was something nasty. And so, again, what are you gonna do? He's giving you the same look over and over and over. You thinking get off, speed rush, and now he's popping you to the inside. It's set.
And then he hits you with that, and then all of a sudden you're waiting on it, and then it's just bull rush right because he's a little bit shorter, so he already has the leverage on you.
Yeah.
And his hands are on your chest through your jaw. And you're just.
Well, that was back in the day where hands in the face was a legal rush. Those are my favorite rushes. And nowadays you can't touch anybody above the neck.
I love that. I love how like cerebral it is out there because nobody really gives respect to that entire thing that's happening and like the art form that you referred to.
Yeah, and that's what I try to teach these young guys too. It's like everybody wants to rush the passer, but you learn so much actually in the run game, right? Like I know if you have any grit to you at all, if in the run game, if I'm beasting you in the run game, you got no chance in the pass game, right? So it's like, all right, well, now I can bull rush you all day. And if I can bull rush you all day, you have no clue where I'm going inside out. Like, I don't even have to guess. I can tell you what I'm going to do and you can't stop it.
We're looking for
so
those
there's
fish.
so many
We're looking for
nuances
those
you can
fish.
pick up.
Yeah. We're looking for
What's
those
that?
fish, Jared, both in the card game and in Pat. We are looking for the fish out there.
Always.
Yeah,
always. But you know the saying, not a fish till you put him in the boat. So you still got to go out there and work.
I did not know that saying, but I will certainly use it as if it's mine. Ty has a question for you, Jared.
Yeah, Jared, you mentioned J.J. McCarthy, and in the division you got Caleb Williams, and a place you were just at consulting. Bo Nix is starting. Nowadays, a lot more rookie quarterbacks starting right away. And, you know, like in the Bears case, a lot of outlets are picking them to win the division this year, saying Caleb's going to pick up everything right away. Is there anything you would do to get inside young or rookie quarterbacks' heads from the jump when you knew you're going to have to play them?
Absolutely. You're nonstop talking from media day. I mean, you're basically letting them know that they're a rookie. They have zero value in this league. And you're going to peel their head off the turf every chance you get, right? And then you got to put bodies on them. Gunther Cunningham, God rest his soul, he had a philosophy. Every rookie quarterback we played, I mean, it was just, how many bullets can we shoot at you, right? How many times can we pressure you? How many times can we force you to read? Because rookies always hold the ball too long. It's the college system where they sit back there and they pat the ball for an hour. And so that's how you got to heat them up. And then once you get them rattled, it's a constant, you know, no matter what, run play. Have someone walking by the quarterback in his ear. Have someone hitting them. Have some, you know, you always putting a body near them, and you just got to get in their heads. I think the biggest issue for young kids to learn, especially the quarterback position, is that everybody expects DBs in the back end to be fast, athletic. It's crazy. It's your front end and your linebackers that can run, right? And that's where I think a lot of quarterbacks get in trouble. They don't realize how quick and astute the linebackers are, and they think they have mismatches on certain areas, and then they just, you know, they throw bad balls and get picked. But and then with blitzing, you know, blitzing in the NFL is a different story than blitzing in college. So just hit them.
Jared, how about whenever, I don't have football. How about last year, Bosa said at the end of the year against the Eagles, he said, if you just watch our film, it will be easy to tell you what to do against Jalen Hurts. He's looking at the rush. As soon as you get a quarterback to just do this, right, it's over in the NFL, right? As soon as you get them thinking at all. So whenever you talk about for those rookies, yeah, we're letting them know that they don't belong, and we're giving them a little shot. Because all you're hoping for is this young guy who has no idea what a defense is doing, let alone what he has to do on the offensive side, and then he's worried about getting hit. It's like, it's game over, which leads me to C.J. Stroud last year. Mm-hmm. Did you see what he did? Like, legitimately, did you see what he did last year? And I think that's maybe the most surprising thing that's happened in football in a long time, legitimately.
I would agree. I don't think people talked about it enough. I don't think he got enough credit for what he did, especially new coach, new team. There was zero expectation, really, let's be honest. And then to come in there and look that poised and make some of the plays he did and you know, some of those game-ending drives. I said he reminded me a lot of Patrick Mahomes in the instance where he uses his legs to set up, you know, what he does downfield. And he's just calm in the pocket. He doesn't seem to get rattled. And you know, a lot of these young guys, I mean, look at Fields in Chicago last year, right? It was like, not open, I'm running. And, you know, Stroud just seemed to sit back there and dissect defenses, and he wasn't afraid to take.
Did throw a pick for 11 weeks or something like that.
I mean,
all right, we don't have to show this.
Just
first play.
We don't have to show this.
Effortless throw.
Okay.
Where was that at?
That was
the Stroud House.
That's the Loud House.
The Stroud House.
That's the Loud House. It's not the Stroud House. Everybody needs to relax. But and then the way he carries himself off the field as a teammate is like perfect. He's obviously mature beyond his years. He seems like, you know, he's got the respect of the locker room, respect of his coach, and you know that carries a lot of weight. Go ahead, AJ.
Jared, there's some, you know, notable people holding out and holding in right now, multiple different positions. A guy like Hassan Reddick, I don't know if you're aware of his whole situation with the Jets. He got traded there, hasn't even stepped in the facility yet. I don't know. Did you ever have any long holdouts to where you didn't do camp and you came in and played? And do you think that's something like you could have done? Could you have missed all of camp and come in and say 10 days and then played week one?
Oh, I was wishing my contracts would get to where I could hold out. I missing camp.
Were you around during lockout?
I was in the lockout. Yep, and I came out the lockout and had 22 sacks. So,
hey, the lockout was awesome. I don't think there was a single player that
training camp. Listen, coaches are going to hate me. Training camp is overrated. Football is year-round these days. Training camp is a money ploy for the organization. You can go straight into game week with as much practice as we put in through the off season with weightlifting, OTAs, mini camps. As you know, AJ, the whole playbook's in. We start all the way back from cover 2 again in training camp. And if you don't know cover 2 by the time you're in the NFL, just go. If you don't know how to tackle somebody, just leave. I think training camp is so overrated, and you could go right into week practices. I mean, I had some of the best games not practicing, right? Because your body's healthy. I think there's a certain level of, you know, it's like boxing. You got to spar to a certain level so you know who's afraid to get hit and who's not. But at some point, it's the mental game. It's being fresh. Whoever's freshest, whoever's healthiest on Sunday is going to have a greater chance of winning. So the days of training camp, I believe, are antiquated. You know, it's like, especially when I got older and had kids, like, why do I got to sleep in a subpar dorm room? My back hurts and I can't see my kids in the morning. Like, this is stupid.
Communal bathroom as an adult with a full family.
Now I got athlete's foot I've never had in 20 years. Guys pissing in the showers. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, peeing in a Gatorade bottle next to your bed as an adult with a family. It is a very interesting setup. Like, do you want to walk down the hall or do you not? Like, how do you want to do it?
Then you got to have team meetings about not emptying your Gatorade bottle into the trash can because people just pissed directly in the trash can, which then prompted a whole meeting about urinating in trash cans, which was surprising.
Pac-Man has the last question for you here, Jared.
Jared, who the best you don't win against? Your numbers speak for itself, but like on the other side of the ball, who did you have to wake up for?
Oh man, so I got the pleasure and displeasure of playing against and with Willie Roaf. So Willie Roaf was the tackle when I got to the Chiefs, and so I got to battle him every single day. So in my personal opinion, Willie Roaf is hands down the best offensive tackle to ever play the game. Second to that would be Walter Jones. I got to play against Walter Jones. Mitch, but Walter, he doesn't say much, and then he's so athletic. So, you know, talking about, you know, how it's a mind game out there pass rushing, like, you know, an offensive lineman's first step tells me a lot about what I'm going to do. So Walter would always take a little quick angle set, right? We'd call it like an angle B step, almost entice you to come inside, right? Yeah. So and right off the bat, you're kind of thinking, okay, he's going over the top of my set line, so I'm coming inside, and then he would bail vertical back on you, and was athletic enough just to wash you and hassle back with sitting. And Walter was the hardest to figure out because he was so athletic that he would do what we were trying to do. Like, I'm trying to stop his inside foot. I'm trying to dictate where I want his feet to be, and he would do the opposite. He would dictate where he put us to where we need to be, and to be athletic enough to run us by. Willie, on the other hand, Willie was insane. Willie was a beast, and Willie used to limp and walk like this. And I'd be like, Coach, man, Willie, what's the hardest thing for people to get? Oh, Coach, people think they gonna run right around, but that's all I want them to do. If I get them back to 7-8 yards, and they don't, and the quarterback don't step up, that's on him. Willie sounded. I think Willie was probably only in his 30s. He sounded like he was 95.
Sounds like he walked like it as well. What a sell!
So
what about him walking up to the line every time? Oh man, hamstring, knee, ankle, whole thing.
Go around.
Now I'm gonna run right around.
Yeah, he taught me how to use my hands. He taught me, you know, like that stab progression. He taught me, you know, about killing the inside half. Willie taught me so much. And I'll tell you the funniest story. This is no joke. This is why I think Willie's the best. And I'll end it with this. So my rookie year, we were in camp back when, you know, we used to do half line drills and cat in the alley, all the old school bull in the ring crap, right? And so we had a half line drill going on, and I hit Willie up underneath his chin. I locked him out. Greg Wesley came down, hit Priest Holmes right in the mouth. Done, right? Coach Vermeil lost his entire mind and was like, nobody touches our ticket to the Super Bowl. Just went stupid on Brian Waters, Willie Rowe, Casey Wigman, right? I'm just like, oh, so he makes us do it again. So I hit Willie as hard as I could underneath the chin again. I lock him out, and I'm like, yeah, this is twice in a row. When I tell you, he picked me up, and my feet were like this, and I was like 275 pounds. And my feet were running like this on my tiptoes. He dumped me on the back of my neck. When I tried to get up, he speared me in the back. I was like, all right, this guy's going to be my best friend. If I can learn to beat this guy, I'm going to have a good career. So, yeah, I got that taste of welcome to the NFL, and I knew he was a bigger man than me, and so I learned a lot from him.
That's awesome. Willie, baby, Willie.
Legend. Done good.
Need more Willies out there in the world, especially in the football world. Him acting like he was hurt every play. Oh, God, I'm never going to be able to whoop 60 straight times.
Yeah, gotcha.
Oh, man, this is going to be the one every time. Look at this old ass. How am I going to be able to get around him? Jared, congrats on all the success, obviously, on the football field, off the field as well. I mean, what you do for the vets is phenomenal. This mullet championship, raising $150,000, having something fun happen for kids, teenagers, and adults. Congrats to Scott, Camden, and Mason, Padilla. Mason.
Oh, I got the winners here for you. I got you.
Scott, Mason, Todd. Fuck.
Yep, Todd. So Todd won the adults. Mason won the teens, and Camden won the kids.
All right. Well, congratulations to all the winners, and thank you for stopping by, ladies and gentlemen. Jared Allen, thank you, brother. I mean, that's awesome. That is absolutely.
He's the man.
Ed Warder, we weren't talking to you. Come on, you know that, Ed. Come on.
Sorry.
Have a little feel. You know who we're talking to, Ed.
Wasn't you, Ed?
You know who we're talking to, Ed. We love Ed. Speaking of Ed, how about Dallas Cowboys having a lot of situations going on? What's going on?
Is that? I'm talking to you, Ed.
You know that, Ed. You know that.
No, Ed.
He knows that.
He does.
There's a lot
He
of
should.
people that know that. I mean, come on. You know what this is about. We all know what this is about. Okay? Everybody knows what it's about.
I'm talking to you, Ed.
We're not, come on. Come on. Is that legal?
Yeah.
The Dallas Cowboys, interesting series of events. CeeDee Lamb and Jerry Jones were obviously at the negotiating table. Jerry Jones was speaking multiple times, and every time he was saying something, he was like, I don't miss CeeDee Lamb. And then I do miss.
Wait.
See, wait. I think you guys. What I meant was, we don't. He won't be fucking playing last. So I don't. You get it? I miss CD. I want to tell you. And he looked right at the camera. I miss you. I do miss you. He did say that.
Yes.
That happened.
Yeah.
And then there was a line that came out of Jerry Jones via Clarence Hill Jr. Great sports media journalist.
Yep. Without a doubt.
Great sports media. We weren't talking to.
Not talking.
You know who we're talking to. But he has an interview or something with Jerry Jones that comes out. If anybody else thinks they can do my job, fuck off. Basically.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing mine.
Yeah. What he said. Jerry Jones actually, we thought it was a fake quote. We thought like potentially D-Bone made a graphic and put a quote out of Jerry Jones because it sounds like a fictitious character of Jerry Jones, but not actually something that Jerry Jones would say in real life. He said it. Yeah. It's awesome. And then immediately afterwards, he signs a deal with CeeDee Lamb that is very, very fruitful. Congratulations to CeeDee Lamb getting the deal done. And obviously, everybody was talking about how big of a deal it was for the Dallas Cowboys offense to have CeeDee Lamb. He's their guy. He's their number one. Now he's around for a while. Jerry said he's going to have to take care of his money. But what he said about Dak Prescott is very interesting. All right, and this is from Pro Football Talk, but I do believe, obviously, Clarence Hill had the interview with him on DLLS.
That's right. Yeah.
You take out two A's there, you see. It's Dallas.
Yeah.
We just don't need to get it done before the season because it's in all of our interests, Dak and everybody, to have a great season. And as a matter of fact, that's probably not realistic to think before the season. But my thought sitting right here is we'll have Dak, parenthesis, as Cowboys quarterback in 2025 and beyond, which I wonder how he said that they have to put that in parentheses. I don't know what that means. But all I'm going to say is this. It's not done yet. And he said the deal obviously would like to be done, but it's not done yet. I think we've chatted about Dak just playing through the season, maybe hitting the open market and what that deal could be worth, especially after Kirk Cousins signs for $180 million in Atlanta whenever he was able to hit the free agency market. AJ, what do you think Jerry Jones is saying there? There's no deal in sight for Dak, and I think he's hitting free agency.
That's the thing. If he doesn't get signed during the season, then Dak hits. He's an unrestricted free agent, correct?
Yep.
No, there's no. Okay, so that doesn't happen very often with a quarterback who. What is Dak? 30? I don't even know.
Whoa,
he's still pretty young, 30? Playing very well. For him to hit the open market, I mean, astronomical numbers. You're thinking. So how, if Jerry lets him go to the end of the season, boom, open market. You're not going to compete with every team, are you?
Just turned 31 years old. Has put a lot of good football on tape. A lot of good football on tape.
If he keep Tony Romo, he's definitely keeping Dak.
What are you saying? What is that?
I said exactly what I said.
What? No, Tony?
If he would pay Tony Romo, he's definitely going to pay Dak.
I agree with you, Pac. I agree with
you. But this is
Tony Romo was not better than
Dak.
Dak.
He's just negotiating. Is he negotiating, try to drive the price down a little bit and just let him know, be realistic in what you're asking?
Yeah, but Dak could go out and have his worst year.
This tear his Achilles, week 2.
Bingo. Kirk Cousins. He could have his worst. He could have his worst year. If he was to hit the open market, some team would be like, what do you want? Mm-hmm. What do you want? How do you want it? Because there's teams that are desperate for quarterbacks. Yeah. Always will be, always has been. And if he hits the market, there's no way Dak's thinking about getting a deal done. And I guess Jerry would probably try, but Jerry's going to inevitably end up paying the most whenever it comes to the free agency period, which is exactly what kind of the Jerry Jones story has been with the guys that he absolutely loves.
Yeah, at this point, I personally feel like the only way Dak is going to be a Cowboy again next year is if they win the Super Bowl, because then Jerry's going to give him a ridiculous. But if they don't, then the Steelers, the Vegas, there are a handful of teams that would give, everyone's saying he's gonna be making over $60 million a year, and someone is gonna pay way more than that. Even someone will give him 65, 66 if they're desperate enough.
Let's just say, who else is it out there to go and get?
Nobody.
Well, you guys don't know. There's a college quarterback that's about to come.
Yeah, exactly.
There's 10 of them. There's 10 of them that are
right.
about to have the greatest years in the history of college football. All right, we're wrapping up this day on ESPN. We'll continue on YouTube, ESPN Plus, and TikTok Live. We can't thank you enough for allowing us to do this for a living. Very lucky to be able to go up to that ESPN building yesterday, genuinely, to see a lot of the people that I didn't know. I've only seen their actions on the internet, and not these people. It was great to see this entire crew right here. Lucky to be on the same channel that they are on.
A great panel, awesome panel. I wish we could have watched.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was really cool to see. First time meeting Scott Van Pelt in person. He's so tall,
huge,
so tall, and obviously Greeny's the legend. L and Stephen A, and then on the far left, legends as well, and then far left, Mike Voss, just senior vice president of ESPN.
Worked the room.
Man, he did a great job. Very lucky to go up there. Great to meet people. And I do believe it could potentially be viewed as a restart in a relationship or complete opposite. I'm good either way. But we're very thankful for everybody. We'll be live tomorrow in Morgantown, West Virginia. Right on screws there.
Let's go.
Right on screws there. Right on screws there. That was my first time seeing people that have wrote things that are, yeah,
how'd it go?
Unequivocally false.
Yeah, completely false, and misrepresented things and took quotes out of context and stole videos and all those things over the last year. And I got, hey, would you want to come do this? And they said who was all going to be there. I'm like, no. Why would I want to be? Why would I? That's not good for anybody for me to be there. I don't think that's a good idea. And then they said, Stephen A is going to be there, L is going to be there, SVP is going to be there, Greeny's going to be there, Kelsey was there, Saban was there, Burke spoke, Schefter spoke. And I'm like, all right, yeah. And they just did the reorg. It's like, okay, I'm in. I don't know if it's a good idea, but I am certainly in. And I hope, that there was an opportunity to learn a little bit about hopefully each other and everything, but some of it was just so absurd. And then seeing some of the people, it's like, you have no idea how much I despise you. I didn't even know what you look like.
Mm-hmm.
And
now I do.
Now I do.
Yeah, I see you.
And I'm very shy with my words. Always have been. I don't speak my mind. That's not something I do. I'm very indifferent and treat people with no words. That's normally how I've been operating since I'm a child in this entire thing. So we knew what was going to happen, but I think it could be a nice reset. It could have been. Could be. We'll see. Going forward, legitimately.
Sweet campus, too.
Sweet.
Holy shit.
Food, so good. Mm-hmm. Cafeteria, so good. They had an LED board that might have cost $2 million.
Two of them.
In this room that we were
sides.
Beautiful. Just beautiful. I went up there for the college football conference or whatever, and I told everybody, I'm like, you should see how nice this camp and how big this campus is. So it was nice to see that again. And it was there's a lot of people that work at ESPN, and I said this after the college football conference. My natural mindset, because of things that were happening behind the scenes, and then obviously through journalists and everything like that, it was like there was some real between me and I'm very much if you're not on my team, then okay, you are fuck off. If you are trying to intentionally hurt me and my people, then I'm gonna that's how this is gonna go. So I just had a natural just hatred for everything at ESPN. I hate everybody over there. That is how this goes. We have friends that come on the program, but that before we were at ESPN, same thing. Everybody else, I hate them. I hate you. And then I go up to the college football conference, and people are like, hey, watch every day, big fan. I'm like, you work at ESPN? I didn't know you work. Yeah, I'm one of the coders. And I'm like, of course there's coders. Oh my God, I didn't even think about it.
Massive
we have
company.
an entire
code.
We have an entire and then
Big
there's
satellites.
And there's a building of the advertising folks. Then there's a tech department, and then there's the chefs that are there, and it's you start meeting people and they're like, we're big fans. And I'm like, oh my God, ESPN's a lot bigger than just 7 people that have been. Okay. Yeah. So it's that was a good experience. I think the boys got to experience that yesterday as well.
Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, one of the things too about the cafeteria that we kind of processed when we walked in there is that all the TVs are on ESPN, and there's a shit ton of TVs. So the idea that, of course, we don't see the campus, we don't see those people ever, but they do see us because the TVs are on ESPN. So we're on 25, 30 TVs, during lunch, and we got there during the lunch hour. So
we
a lot of people.
We walked through, and there's just like a lot of people like eating food and like
You guys just all strolling through at the same time. That'd be
Yeah.
awesome to watch.
And I mean, the way I walk into places too, it's not like, I have a couple rules. I have a couple rules. If you're going to be on this show, the first time you speak into the microphone, you cannot sound scared.
Gotta bring it.
You cannot sound scared. If you sound scared, nobody's going to treat you with any respect for the rest of the show. On the air and at home listening. So when you get onto a microphone, you're talking. When you walk into a room, there ain't no sense that you are not proud to be there, happy to be there, and never going to catch you walking in scared, anywhere. So yesterday we're 4 deep with Foss, and we just walk. Just straight. I'm in these cowboy boots, all black. I mean, it is just like. Connor's in all black as well. Foss is in all black as well. Connor did it because he thought it was potentially going to be a funeral.
I thought so. I wasn't sure what to expect.
It's going to be a funeral.
Dressed for the occasion.
Yeah, we all understood it was not the best idea for me to go in there, but we legitimately wanted to show hey, we like what's going on at ESPN.
Yeah, like being there.
We are thankful that we are licensed and our show is licensed through ESPN. And I had to explain it, because I was asked about the 1 year anniversary is either come and gone or it's happening. I forget when it is, maybe a week from now or whatever, of us being on air, let alone this deal being signed in May. How do you look back on the year? We're coming up on 1 year. How do you look back on it? And I just thought back to the rollout of the announcement and how pumped I was. How pumped I was that the deal got done and, having to negotiate with Bob Iger and Jimmy Pitaro and figuring out a way to still remain in control of show and own show, and they license show. So it's it was more so a rights deal like the NFL has with ESPN or NBA has with ESPN or College Football Playoff has with ESPN. It's they are paying us to supply a show every afternoon. It is on us to create show. It is on us to make show. It is on us to do everything. But it was kind of rolled out as a talent acquisition. I'm being signed to ESPN, and the money that's getting paid is going to me, which I think is kind of happened basically for every human that has ever got signed to ESPN. And it's that money's going to our company, going to our show, invested in show to be a good TV partner with ESPN, who has our rights and is licensing our show. So, I don't think that was ever fully understood by a lot of the people that talked about us through it all. ESPN's going to fire them for this. It's they could stop broadcasting our show, but that's not how this fucking, that's just not how the deal is or ever was in the entirety of it. And I'm thankful for Jimmy and Bob and Burke. And we want to be good we would like to be good partners. We would like to be good partners, just like NFL, NBA. We would like to create a show. Now, there's going to be stuff that they disagree with. And there's stuff that they disagree with in all those leagues and everything else that they license and go through it all. But it's we would like to create a show that people enjoy and get back into sports, and ESPN sees it. And we're in the green already for this year. It's I thought that stuff needed to be said. So there's a lot of good that came from it. And then at the very end, it was by the way, one last thing.
You glad you went, right?
Very glad. Yeah, I am very glad. And I appreciated everybody. I saw Marchand. That's the first time I've talked to Andrew Marchand, who started a lot of everything that kind of happened because of him doing his job. And the source that he had for a long time had a lot of information, had a lot of information until he didn't, And then, there's a little, and then there's a lot of bullshit, that's being acted as if it's real. And then because of how established he is, other people are picking up on that. And then I'm asked about journalistic standards. And it's everything that's been written about us has basically been false from business-wise, human-wise, and everything like that. And then you're asking me about our show, about it. It's what are the journalistic standards, in this entire thing? And how do we judge that? Is it opinion, fact, how you feel? What are the, what is the standard?
Is there a standard? Is there an answer to that? Honestly,
Elle went to bat for me immediately afterwards, and I was shaking my head mocking, and they put in there out of context, shook his head in disagreement with Elle whenever she was going. It's okay, you guys are just. So I hope that I could at least, let them know who I am a little bit and let them know that I know,
Yeah.
And it's not Ed Werder. Okay, I'm not fucking talking
We
about
love you, Ed. Love Ed Werder.
or Pete Tham or Schefter or any of these.
Right.
We all know who we are talking about.
Yeah.
And everybody in sports media, from my understanding, hates them.
Really?
Not those people indirectly, but that avenue of business is like, because Stephen A was talking his shit yesterday.
Got a great promo.
It was awesome.
Stephen A was talking his shit. The biggest myth that you guys put out there and ran with is that there was competition in the 10 a.m. hour. 1,600 shows. 2 of them, they came within 500,000 of our rating in our numbers. There has never been competition at the 10 a.m. hour, and I don't think I've ever heard you guys write that or say that. And then front office sports, Mike McCarthy, it was good to see him. Comes out, and Steve Ray, I didn't see it. It was, and then Scott Van Pelt, like same thing. Like you guys said that I was in trouble whenever Fox Sports 1 came around. And I think these journalists forget, like, we hear all this shit.
Yeah, see it.
Like I see everything you're saying because I have to. Like I have to live on the internet. I have to live on X because that's where all the information comes from, so that I can have some journalistic standards whenever I'm talking about things and recognizing that there's people that view things differently than maybe you do. And that doesn't mean that they are wrong. That means that you just have a differing opinion of something. That doesn't mean that factually they are incorrect, which has seemingly become more so the understanding of that entire business. So it was just, I'm happy I went. It was great to see people, meet people, shake their hands, look them in their eye, find out what they look like, let them know that I don't appreciate what they've done to my business and my people. And hopefully, going forward, it'll be a whole fresh start. But like Pataro was there, Burke, everybody was there. It was like great to see. It was great to see everybody. Like great to see everybody out there.
I saw Kelsey. I saw Saban. Kelsey. That's a big day up there. Is it just one day or did they have multiple days?
So I didn't know all of the shows that were happening, all the conversations that were taking place, but I found out night before that Kelsey and Saban and Laura Rutledge were talking like before us.
Yeah.
Hey, Burke was talking before us, and then Kelsey, Saban, and Laura Rutledge. I'm like, ooh, I would like to go see that, I think. So we flew in earlier so that we could go watch them. And then I don't think I fully understood that we were in the exact same room as the college football room. And if you walk in there, everybody sees you. I thought I was going to be able to just stand in the back and kind of watch Jason and Saban talk with Laura. I thought it was going to be like on a stage thing and like, in a theater. That was not the case. As soon as I walked in, it was like, oh, the big dumb dipshits here.
Door squeaking.
Yeah, it was a whole thing. So it did not work out exactly how I thought it was going to. But listening to them talk, both of them and Laura, like, that conversation was sweet. And there was like gems just all over it if you listened. And then when Burke spoke about the future and what he views and how he views it, it's like, it was a really cool day. I think it was a good idea to do it all. I'm happy that I went, but I don't know if everybody's pumped that we, walked through. That's good. It do be like that sometimes.
That's right. Exactly.
It do be like that. I had some people tell me that I was going up there to go to the principal's office yesterday.
I'm sure you loved hearing that.
Yeah.
People on the internet.
Oh, well, those people.
Is it true?
Really
when you go to the principal's office, that sounds like something that would happen.
Yeah.
Twitter.
Because I said I'm going up to the ESPN campus for a town hall style event. Just tell the truth. You're going up there to get yelled at for what happened in Dublin, Ireland. And it's like, okay, y'all you still don't get it.
They never will. That's the thing. Like, these people are always going to be there. Like that's just the reality.
They also don't watch.
Yeah, but they can't have a large following and influence a bunch of people, and then like paint the picture. Like that was basically my thing yesterday. It's like, you guys steal my videos. Like, don't post the video. You steal our videos out of context, and then your headlines are not representative of my messaging at all. And then because you are taken seriously, so that's theft, slander, libel, narrative building. So then because people take you seriously somehow, I have no idea, then that becomes like the story, and it's like, journalistic standard? Okay. Or what are we, who are we, how do we, because I guess it is real because it did come from our show, but the way you're representing it is not. And then that's just happening in our world. Think about what's happening in.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not doing it. Everywhere. I'm not doing it.
All over. That happens everywhere, doesn't it?
I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it. But I do hope it is something that we can kind of.
Was good to see our boy Jimmy Trainer, though.
Trainer's a dog. Jimmy came up to me while I think Burke was speaking, maybe. Burke was in the middle of getting questioned. Yeah. And Jimmy came over. And he was like, hey, can I get a couple minutes, to catch up or whatever afterwards? And I'm like, Jimmy, once I talk, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Like, look around, Jimmy, this goes. And I go, but Jimmy, I really appreciate, like, he has been relatively fair. I think he's come after us, I think, a couple times for things, but then he's also acknowledged the situation of what is happening right in front. Like, there is quite a transformational thing potentially happening here, which is, I don't think a lot of people are understanding. Like, the people that were in those journalism seats yesterday, 15 years from now, I think the way they write the story about this particular program and this particular deal with ESPN is going to be vastly different than how it's being covered right now. And Jimmy Traina seemingly is one that's like, you're not necessarily the show that I'm going to go listen, but like, I can see how, and I'm like, well, we appreciate you, Jimmy. Like, he's literally
got some awareness. It sounds like he has some awareness.
Yeah, and he's
jacked.
That's what Connor said.
Nice.
Jimmy Traina walks up, shakes my hand. The first time I met him in person, I'm like, Jimmy, I appreciate your coverage. I feel like you've been fair of us. That's very, very kind of you. And he goes, you got it. And then I told him, I'm like, next time I'm doing pods, would love to come on your show. And he said, sure, sounds good. Because there's too much of me, so I don't need to be doing fucking podcasts. Like, I appreciate everybody asking me to come on their shows. And I feel like an asshole every time I say no, but there's way too fucking much of me already. I don't need to be going into, new places. But whenever I do, I told him, he's like, cool. You can stick around ever. I'm like, no. And then he walks back to his seat, and Connor comes over to me and goes, Jimmy Traina's fucking jacked. Burke's giving an answer.
Okay.
Burke's giving an answer. Then he said he's got some Hulk Hogan in him. He said Jimmy Traina's got some Hulk Hogan in him.
He had a great question.
Compliment of the highest order.
Jimmy Traina did ask about our fans hating us whenever the ESPN announcement took place, which I thought was a good question, because that was very real. That was a mind blower for me. I've misread some situations, and I told them that, guys, we have fucked up. We have certainly done that. But it's like, if you want to paint us as assholes, you can certainly take things with the way our show is, and you have done that. So thank you. Great work on that. But also, come the fuck on. Can we just, can we get a little bit of, as we move forward here? Anyways, hour 3 will be on the other side. We got some stuff to talk about. Yesterday was cool. I'm happy I won, AJ. I'm happy I won.
Good. Was McQuaid there?
I think he was zoomed in.
He was. Okay, sure.
I think he sent us a box. Hey,
did.
McQuaid.
Love you, McQuaid.
McQuaid in the NFL Ireland. We appreciate you guys. NFL game next year, I believe, is in Spain, not in Ireland.
Really?
But the next one that gets scheduled potentially, we think Ireland. We think we would like to potentially bang the drum of Ireland hosting an NFL game.
I know there's a team working on it.
Pittsburgh Steelers obviously have close ties with the country of Ireland, with the Rooney family. He was over there this past weekend.
Yeah, Dan was, the third.
You get Steelers, Patriots over there. You got Boston, Pittsburgh. I mean, that's pretty good.
Be a good setup.
That's pretty solid.
That's
both teams will finish last in the division.
Can't do
so.
those. That's too many scumbags in Ireland at one time.
But this is a couple of years from now, so my teams might be good, so they might be able to be arrogant scumbags.
Exactly.
Which is
even worse.
All right,
Even better.
Even better. All right, let's get to a break. We'll be back on the other side. We got some news stories to wrap up, and then we're off and running to Morgantown, West Virginia.
Hell yeah.
We got 21 college football games tonight. Yeah. We got a full slate on Saturday. We got college games on Sunday, college games on Monday, 5 straight days of actual football. We have made it! All right, we'll be back on the other side. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. Take 5. If you're the NCAA and you're sitting in that stupid office in Indianapolis where we happen to live, it's a great city. It's a great town. And there's a dumb institution that is ruling over college football. Because if you don't want these people dancing... Celebration, bitches!
What's up? Is that the president's name?
Oh, that's Kurt Signatic.
Do we like the NCAA? Do we like Pat? Do we love the Dukes? I wish
wish when I was asked, like, why did you punt? I could say my subcommittee recommended I punt. Talk your shit. This guy's hot. This guy's hot.
We'll see you in the next hour. I say today, we take a stand against the NCAA. Let them bowl.
Let them bowl. Amen.
Rest in peace, Dale. Moment of silence for Dale Earnhardt. Moment has passed. Thank you, Dale. This one's for 3. AJ Hawk, $5,000. This has been one of the coolest moments of my entire professional life. JMU! Thank you so much for the hospitality. JMU! You understand quickly that there's idiots making decisions in every single place that you would never guess idiots would be making decisions. You don't think bowl season deserves to have this situation cooking behind it? College football's better because JMU's football is crushing. College is better because what their football team is doing. The community is better. And the NCAA, yet again, adds to their long list of decisions. Look at that steamboat in the hills of Virginia. You know what? To hell with all of them. James Madison, right here. Right here. That chef looks damn good. I'd eat that guy's meat any day of the week. If you're able to bury this 33-yard field goal, kicking is easy is what you have said to kickers before. Others have on the internet. Now, 90 racks on the line. We believe. Oh! Killed a kid! Killed a kid! Our worst kid yet! 100 racks of charity. This dog stinks! And that's that the JMU are going to crush App State. They would crush anybody this weekend, especially in this city with how dumb the NCAA is. Let them bowl and let the boys dominate today.
In my Constitution, I have the First Amendment right to free speech. Pat has the Second Amendment right to take its sleeves off and show the bare arms all the time. But I'm saying, if we are so lucky to go undefeated this year, and we end up winning in a bowl game, if we get in, I'm going to use my First Amendment to declare the JMU Dukes national champions. Like UCF. I'm just going to say it, and come and stop me. Time to coach.
I'm jacked. It's working. All of it's working.
They'll have one loss because App State is beating JMU Mountaineers, baby. They're gonna dog shit all over this dumb place. App State forever. Yeah, fuck you too. How about that?
Welcome to Dublin Island on this Feel Good Friday, August 23rd, 2024. We are live from J.R. Mahin's.
Drinks are on Pat McAfee tonight, fella. Let's go!
Hop, 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 hop. The fact that anybody knows we exist in Ireland, we are so incredibly thankful. So to all of you, we say, Gotcha!
State. I just want Kirk to know I got 1,000 phone calls when we got in the playoffs. He didn't have anything to do with them not getting in the playoffs, and I didn't either. But we both got hammered.
Some of us did get hammered last night. We have real football happening today for the first time in months. This is a beautiful time in a wonderful town. It's fight night, baby! Chavis! This is Dave.
We gotta go for Georgia Tech. I gotta go. I would be back in the country if I didn't pick Georgia Tech.
44 yards away to do it. He got it! He got it! And the Yellow Jackets did it!
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, UP! Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this 21 college football game Thursday, August 29, 2024. Hour 3 of the program starts now. Football! It's amazing. We got a lot of football that matters. That's AJ Hawk. The Talks the Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Sweet shirt.
Thank you. Yeah, this one got the crowd going in here last time I wore it, so I figured I'd wear it for the 21 games.
It has good vibes, doesn't it? It just radiates good vibes, that particular shirt.
Flamingos. I don't know what it is about flamingos in particular, but they do.
You know what they make me think of?
What's that?
Miami Subs grown up.
Yeah.
Swingers.
Yeah.
Doesn't make me think of Swingers.
Swinger.
Just like, but great movie, or if that's your lifestyle, whatever the fuck you're
The
doing.
lifestyle choice.
Okay. Yep, that's obvious.
Thought
That's
that
on
was
you.
pineapples.
For what's that?
Those two.
Well, that's outside the door, I heard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh, that's the
I'm not
time?
talking about that. I'm talking about Miami Subs.
Are we talking about the chop house?
No, that's not how that works. That's a completely different conversation.
You're thinking
No,
you're thinking of Finky guns.
Yeah.
No, there was the flamingos outside the house after the chop house.
No, see, I don't know what you're talking about. I think everybody's on. I'm talking about Miami Subs, which was a sub joint that was in Plumboro, Pennsylvania, that had a big ass flamingo on it. It was turkey.
It was delicious.
Great fries. And then all of a sudden, Nick said the flamingos make him think of people having sex with each other's wives.
Yeah.
I don't know what your problem is back there, but I want to let you know I'm talking about the subs in the fries for Miami
But just
Subs.
Planet Earth. One of my favorite parts of Planet Earth is
Flamingos?
all the flamingos are
Good
inside
opening
this cool
scene.
water in like the middle of the desert. But yeah, you guys, hey, have at it.
Now, what's everybody's deal?
I don't know. That was wild.
That was a good shirt.
Yeah, thanks. I like the shirt.
Geez, one half of the hammer.
Dahn.
What happened there?
I don't know.
We're talking about subs and fries and flamingos. And all of a sudden, Nick's like, yep, both of them.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about.
Flamingos are, it's a pretty big part of it.
All right, one half of the hammer. Dahn, Cowboys, Town Diggs is here. 12-year NFL vet Pac-Man Jones is here. We have some massive high school soccer news. I don't even know if you know this, but the Plum High School Mustang girls soccer team is like 55-2 in their last 57 section games.
Wow.
Okay. We're talking about an actual wagon. And they made history last night. They beat Elizabeth Forward 2-0, undefeated on the year. The Plum High School girls team is going to do great things this year. I can't wait to keep up with it. But there was a record broken. It's not the Caitlin Clark rookie three-point line. It is the fastest yellow card into somebody's high school varsity playing career in the history of high school soccer. Keep an eye on the girl running down there. Throws the girl. See that right there? See that? That is a freshman who had been on the field for 3 minutes in her first varsity action, and she was given a yellow card.
Right.
That was her second body. Okay, she gets on the field, takes somebody out. Just takes somebody out immediately.
Big
Runs
time.
full speed. Takes him out. Then she gets a yellow card about a minute 30 later, gets taken off the field. She is a dog. She's a beast. She's my niece. And that's Bella Maines. Welcome to Plum High School Soccer, baby. I am pumped that this happened. And as a freshman, to get on varsity, especially with how good the Plum High School girls soccer team is, you got to make a name for yourself. And they said, hey, go full speed. She said, you got it. And she didn't like that lady right there. Get out of what are you doing? Girl's probably 18 years old.
Yeah.
She's a freshman just running through people. Congrats on the big win. Congrats on being undefeated. And Bella, hey, they know you're coming now, but that does not matter. You're a fucking dog. Go out there and do it. I'm excited. They're a real good team out of Plum High School. And obviously that's CFO Phil's eldest daughter. And she's been awesome to follow along with. Incredibly athletic and talented and hard worker, which is good news.
I think there's another clip as well where she was bodying some other girl too. So yeah, the fact that she's a freshman on a varsity team that is that good too, like that's very impressive.
3 minutes, 2 bodies, 1 yellow card, 1 historic performance on varsity for a freshman. I loved it.
He's got to be so juiced. Phil had to be so juiced when this was happening in the moment.
Well, he was saying that she understood the assignment. You know, like she understood the assignment and she went out there and did her thing. But at the end of that yellow card video, you hear Mama Maines, Kate Maines, go, "Oh no!" as the ref was calling her back. Bella, you keep doing it. Let's go. She's talented too. She's talented. Goal scorer. So wait until once she starts bodying people. Now she's already bodying varsity people. Her talent is only going to get better and better as well. She's fast. She's got those real long. She's tall. She's got real long legs. That team is filled with superstars, and Bella's one of them. Let's talk about news that's happening around the NFL since we've been live. Let's go to one half of the hammer. Dahn, Cowboys Town Dicks.
New day, same old shit happening. Brandon Aiyuk did not show up at practice again today for the San Francisco 49ers. So that's another thing there. And as you heard from Shefty, he's got no idea what's going to happen in that situation. And then in Cincinnati, Jamar Chase, once again, is at practice but not practicing. He walked in, he showed up in his Bengals shorts and long sleeve tee, but he was not in pads. He's not practicing again today. So those situations continue on with no resolution in sight.
Walking across the street downtown Cincinnati to get to the practice facility that the Cincinnati Bengals have that is not under a bridge, which I have, falsely.
Sure.
Certainly a 7-iron away, like
very close.
Like a 9-iron, maybe a pitching
highway.
Away. Pac-Man. Obviously, the Cincinnati Bengals with Joey Burrow back. First time ever getting to have a training camp. We assume that the Bengals are going to start better than they have in the past. Notoriously slow starting team, but is that because Joe Burrow hasn't been in training camp any of the years? Probably.
Yeah.
So with Joey B there, seemingly locked in, is Jamar Chase going to hold him back, or are we not worried about the Bengals right now?
We're not worried about the Bengals. Jamar Chase is not going to hold him back. He'll be ready week 1. Hopefully we'll get something figured out. But, Joe is the key to all this. T. Higgins probably had the best camp he done had. Got a lot of young guys that's been opening up eyes around.
Oh, really? So we're at the point where we're like, okay, we got young guys that are going to hopefully make some plays for us.
Okay. Well, I'm saying no. We can't say that. Now one of them are Chase. I'm not saying that.
Got it.
But what I'm saying is, it's a lot of guys like Jermaine Burke who's been showing up in camp that's playing pretty good football that can go out and play if this was to happen. That's all I'm saying.
No Joe Mixon, right?
No
Joe Mixon, which is going to be a different game. Yeah,
they got Zach Moss.
Zach Moss, who obviously can tote the rock. We saw that here in Indianapolis.
He is real fast and real quick in little space.
He was our third stringer. And then every time he came on the field, I think he
was top 5 in rushing.
Yeah.
During the Taylor holdout, was that last year or 2 years?
Yeah, last year.
Before he got hurt.
Zach Moss is phenomenal. Now, is he the same guy, hopefully, for the Cincinnati Bengals? Lou Anarumo still running that defense,
yes, sir.
Right? Which is a big deal.
Yeah, big deal. He did really good with getting the 2 safeties back, got Von Miller back, got Geno Stone back, which was one of our undercover dogs. But yeah, we're gonna miss the D tackle that we lost to the Lions.
DJ Reader.
We're gonna miss Readers, but
big pickup.
I mean, they got New England week 1, so it's a favorable matchup at home. But I mean, is that really where you want to be? Especially, all the conversation around Christian Gonzalez being all-pro corner.
I don't think we were about nothing about the Patriots.
Okay,
that's my point.
Speaking of the Patriots, a decision has been made, and they are sticking with the plan that we all assumed they had in place going into the draft. They bring in Jacoby Brissett, who's a 9-year vet, who has been with New England before, knows Coach Mayo very well, has done very, very, very solid jobs in numerous places as a starting quarterback. For the Indianapolis Colts, he was actually potentially on an MVP-like run until he got hurt, and what he did for us, amazing. The plan, we thought, was we'll draft a quarterback early at number 3, and then they'll sit behind this kind of bridge gap quarterback in Jacoby Brissett, watch a pro, be a pro, and then he'll inevitably get his time once he develops more and more. Then with how Drake May played during the preseason, they said, wait a minute. This guy might have it already.
Yes, he might.
He's already moving around the pocket. Let's go ahead and start him. Gerard Mayo told media yesterday or the night before that he has made his decision, but he's not going to tell the media until he tells the team first, which once again, I respect and appreciate the shit out of. But Jacoby Brissett's a starter. Drake May gets to relax with no pressure for a bit. I think this is good news. And I like everything the Patriots are continuing to do when it comes to like off the field shit. You know, the Judon stuff, they send him to a new home. They kicked him off the field whenever he's potentially out of there. You didn't know how Coach Mayo and Elliott Wolf were going to be whenever it came to that type of stuff. I feel like what they're doing is setting a precedent for the rest of their entire run here as running the New England Patriots. And I like what they're doing. They seem disciplined. They understand what they're doing. And hopefully it works out for them, AJ.
Yeah, it should. And the thing is, when you don't know, like, it was on that graphic right there. It said they don't know their starting offensive line yet. Like, when you don't know your starting offensive line, of course you're going to want that veteran in there that can kind of help with protection, can kind of get back there. He's taking a ton of reps. And Jacoby's legit, man. Like, people, I think, undersell Jacoby when you think of him as a quarterback. When the dude's healthy, I think he is a very good quarterback. So, yeah, this makes sense. But, I mean, Drake's going to get in eventually. I don't know when, but Drake's going to play at some point.
Colts paid Jacoby $40 million or something?
Yeah. A lot of money.
It was like 2 years, $40 million to be a starter for us. And he was living up. It was going very, very well until Cam Hayward put a body on top of his knee, and his knee got hurt.
Drove him back.
And then he was never really the same after that. But he was very new to Indianapolis, came in, was leading team meetings, was in the locker room. Everybody loved him. Culture, he was making plays. Everybody was bought in on the same page. It was like Jacoby was going to be like our guy after Andrew Luck. That was the plan. He was going to be our guy going forward and everything. Then the injuries take place, and he ends up there. So hopefully the no offensive line isn't, that could certainly be something. But as a New England Patriot fan, pumped about this decision?
Yeah. It feels like everything that they have said they're kind of living up to as far as Mayo and Elliott Wolf go. And also during the press conference, Mayo said, like, we made the decision. No, I made the decision. Like, if this doesn't work out, blame me. This is my, completely my decision, which I love, too, because he's taking ownership of it. And it's not like a bunch of voices are coming in and telling him stuff. And granted, maybe he's just saying that so that that's not the perception. But as far as we know, everything he said has been the truth. But no, I mean, eventually Drake is going to play. Hopefully, as a Patriots fan, these first 5, 6, 7 weeks, you can get 2 or 3 wins. So then you figure out the offensive line. I know the 2 guys that they're working now, left tackle, Caden Wallace, who's a rookie who started 4 years at right tackle at Penn State, and then Chooks from the Steelers. He was also right tackle. So they just need to figure out who the hell is going to be the left tackle. And then the other spots are kind of solid. Like David Andrews, he's been a center. He's won Super Bowls. He played with Brady. He's very, very good. That'll help with the protection, especially when, Drake does come in. Michael Mwenu, who we paid, who didn't gain 80 pounds, although Michael Lombardi said that last week. That didn't happen.
This guy, I mean, seriously.
He got extended in the offseason, got a bunch of money. Antonio Mafi, who's the left guard, he's going into his second year. Cole Strange is on the pup list to start the season with Kendrick Bourne. But no, like the pieces up front, as the story has been, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's the worst offensive line. I wouldn't go that far, but the most important part is the left tackle, and that's what they need to figure out. So hopefully in this, first quarter and a half of the season, they figure that out between Caden Wallace and Chooks Okafor, and then, maybe that's when
we don't have Super Bowl aspirations this year.
No,
which is why I think it's smart just to let's use this as a redshirt year for a lot of players there. And redshirt doesn't mean you don't play. Redshirts play some, but it's just like, let's let him. And Jacoby's like perfect guy behind the scenes to watch. Been in a lot of buildings, understands how good teams operate, how bad teams operate. And he was leading the meetings, I think, whenever he was here, and he'd only been there like 8 days or something like that.
Yeah, they talked about that. Like when they did the team meetings, it was Jacoby up at the front of the room, and I'm assuming he's probably still doing that in New England. I expect him to be a captain. But no, to your point about like a redshirt year, like it's going to be great to see Jalen Polk play with a guy who is a vet like Jacoby Brissett, because that is the most exciting part of the new Patriots is these new wide receivers we have.
And we talk about it a lot, but like it's the little things watching a vet operate that a young quarterback can learn from. Like Jacoby Brissett will tell Polk, like, hey, when you run this route, Like, need you to be at 12 and then boom, cut that. For me, that's where I would. So Drake now in his head knows, like, okay, I'm allowed to go tell wide receiver where I throw my best ball, as opposed to like what it's supposed to be on paper. Like, if you cut that a half a yard earlier, I like it whenever you do that. Like, just seeing that what you're allowed to do as a quarterback, as opposed to somebody who's, in high school, coaches in charge. College, Mac Brown, everything they got going on. Obviously, he was a leader there, led them in rushing and passing one year. Like, he's a stud, superstar, loves North Carolina, but coach in charge. You get the NFL, like, quarterback's allowed to speak up a little bit more. Like, quarterback is allowed to.
He needs to. That quarterback needs to be just an extension of the head coach and try to, like, communicate what the head coach wants, and then obviously he's got to go back and forth. Like, those the best quarterbacks, I feel like, have great relationships with their coordinator and their head coach, and they're meeting all the time, and they're always talking about those tiny little things that may, like, day to day might not look like a lot, but at some point they're going to pay off.
Oh yeah, it's big because you got to realize you're only good as the quarterback.
Oh yeah, we all are.
Like, regardless whatever you say, like, that's the main guy on the field. He's a example of the head coach or the offensive coordinator, I should say. But yeah, the greats, they always in good communication with the guys.
And I think young guys, it takes them a little bit to, like, gain the confidence to do that because you're younger than everybody here. Mm-hmm. You are expected to act as if you don't know shit about the NFL because you don't know shit. Jared Allen just said you don't know shit. But for, like, what world you're in, like, hey, this is how I like this to go. Like, Caleb Williams was saying that, I think, on training camp, which is one of the most surprising things I've seen for a second preseason game for a rookie quarterback to be like, I need, boom. You hit that one step, you're up. I'm like, rookie quarterback, second preseason game, already telling people how he wants the routes to be run. That's wild confidence. That is incredible comfortability, but inevitably you're going to get that way.
Yeah.
So, like, the earliest you can get that way, the better. And watching a vet operate is a great crash course, I think, for Drake May, especially with Jacoby.
And just like the vets who he'd be throwing to, like Hunter Henry, he really hasn't played any preseason, so it's not like Drake's gotten many reps with him. Kendrick Bourne, pup list, he's kind of the elder statesman in that room who's been with New England. KJ Osborne, you could argue, but this is his first year with the team. Like, he hasn't really gotten any like meaningful time with the guys in the offense that have been there and know kind of what they're doing. Granted, it's a new offense, but at least know the culture in the NFL. So, I mean, it's exciting no matter what NFL season is starting. Who knows how long the Jacoby Brissett thing will be, but it's the right move at the end of the day, so that's all that matters.
Let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers decision starting Russell Wilson. Feels like this was the plan all along as well. I mean, the way the tea leaves we're kind of reading early in the signing of Russell Wilson, where he's being paid $1 million by them and $38 million by the Denver Broncos, an $83 million cap hit to Denver. So he's a cheap quarterback elsewhere, has played a lot of football, has great leadership ability with the team. Mike Tomlin said going into the offseason that he was in pole position over Justin Fields for the quarterback because what vets do in the offseason and gathering wide receivers in throwing sessions. He's been there. He's done that. Feels like this was never really a competition in the first place. Yep. If Justin Fields would have went out there and just scorched earth, perfect passer rating, perfect games, nowhere near turning the ball over, which was the thing that I think a lot of people had questions about with him at Chicago Bears. Maybe Justin Fields becomes the guy because they're both brand new to the city. But Russell Wilson being the starter makes sense, I think, AJ. And I think we kind of assumed this was going to be the case. And Tomlin told Rich Eisen yesterday that Raheem Morris better have a plan in place for a Justin Fields package. Now, he would say that whether there was a Justin Fields package or not publicly, but we assume that to be the case, especially with the run-heavy Pittsburgh Steelers team.
Yeah, why would you not? It'll make defenses kind of have to, adjust and work on things. Possibly they have like a red zone package. They're going to run a read option with Justin Fields where he can throw the ball as well. Like, get him out in space when you need to. But it would have been much more surprising, obviously, if Justin Fields would have been named starter because, like, can you win the starting job through just if Russ is hurt and banged up and through the preseason? I know back in the day, Dak kind of got the preseason. He kind of took it from Tony, didn't he, in the preseason? But Tony got hurt eventually. Isn't that how it worked?
Yeah, I think he came in as, a fifth rounder, fourth rounder?
Yeah.
Dak, fourth
but
rounder.
Dak was killing it in the preseason and made people pay attention. They noticed that he continued to do it over and over. Fields definitely flashed and made a lot of plays, but I think he fell back on some of the things that have caused him issues in the past.
Yeah, and to go back to your Dak Prescott, Tony Romo point, Jerry watched a game with Tony, and Tony was predicting the plays. And Jerry was like, "Shit, you need to fucking get in the booth.
Come on.
We need to let Dak.
Yeah.
We need to let Dak take this team over. Don't you agree, Tony? Don't you agree? Your back, golf game, booth. I mean,
Think about that.
This guy, we're paying him $200,000.
Yeah, what he said.
Don't we think that is potentially the right play? But in this case, Russell Wilson starter only paying him $1 million. You kind of see how it goes under Arthur Smith's new offense for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Tone Diggs, diehard Steelers fan.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about the news, and what's the reaction in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, we believe in 3. That's
Looking for 7.
We believe in 3, looking for 7. No, I mean, he was in the pole position, as Tomlin said, and Jerry Dulac, who's covered the Steelers for a long time, had a tweet yesterday and pretty much summed it up perfectly. I think if you were paying attention to the quarterback race, they brought in Russ Wilson to take over for Kenny Pickett. And then Kenny Pickett threw a hissy fit, and they traded Kenny Pickett. This is Jerry Dulac's tweet.
That is not.
That's what he said in the
From
tweet.
your mouth.
That is not.
I'm quoting word for word.
Okay. All right.
And then they brought in Justin Fields after that situation happened. But no, the way that this team is structured with the defense, how good everyone thinks it's going to be at every single level. They want someone who is going to not lose games. And Russ, I think, is that best option right now, not to lose games. He's not going to turn it over as maybe Justin would at this point in his career. And then they're gonna hand the ball off. Now the situation is kind of similar to the Patriots, and the offensive line has some worries. Siamalu got hurt yesterday. He's going to be out 4 to 6. First-round draft pick got hurt. Broderick Jones is hurt. Herbig's out for the year. So 4 of the starting O-linemen are hurt right now.
Good luck, Russ.
So that's good. That's good. Fun. And it's good to have.
And Artie, by the way. Everybody's expecting you to do great. You have 4 starting offensive linemen out in a run-heavy, and an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
NFC.
No, I mean,
NFC North.
I mean, Siamalu will be back in 4 to 6.
Okay, yeah, the right around corner.
Troy Fautanu is supposed to be back, hopefully week 1, week 2. Broderick is not out, but he's hurt, whatever. But anyways, but a veteran quarterback is probably better for that situation right now.
Especially if he can cook. And Ty lit up while you were talking there. I don't know what.
Well, I just don't know if it matters. I mean, they're saying on Get Up this morning, what week does Mike Tomlin make quarterback change? They don't believe in Russ. You know, they're basically already calling for Justin Fields.
He wasn't number 1 on that list. He wasn't number 1 on the overrated list.
He wasn't number 1 on the list, but they're basically calling for Russ's job before he's even taken a snap this morning.
Was it really?
Yeah, I'm being 100% serious.
They've been doing that all summer.
Everybody kind of, I think D-Butt was even like, Justin Fields is the guy that you want to build around.
Why do they hate Russ so much?
Well, we know.
Yeah.
We all,
I don't.
But he seems right up. He seems right up Get Up's alley.
Yeah, you're
like to be on
sports
the panel?
media as a whole.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, as a whole, yes. Yes.
But I guess
McAfee.
that danger, great to see Greeny.
Yeah, still
great to see.
Still doing it. Red bottoms on.
The best.
He looked so cool.
Yeah.
Came in, had his arm crossed, leaning on the wall, holding court with us.
Yeah,
he's
like, come out here.
Listen to the entire thing. Yeah, I think it was it the danger? Was it the
Mr. Unlimited?
That was
it was Mr. Unlimited. It was showing up in the jersey.
I think it's chance. It's also Sean.
Accumulation of a lot of things.
Sean Payton, basically when we found out that like every single one of his teammates in Seattle hated his guts, Pete Carroll basically said that.
TikTok.
He did not say that. He said after they beat the Denver Broncos, they said, this one's real important for the guys that have been around.
This so fucking bad, and you know why.
Those who have been around, you know what this one means. We all know. Everybody's getting game balls that have been here for the last 10 years or so.
Yeah.
And then they had that press conference. We're friends. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yep.
There's been a lot.
He changed his ways in Pittsburgh.
All he's got to do is play good in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
And the Yinzers will drown out everybody else.
Yeah,
they literally will drown out everybody else in appreciation because that true football town through and through there.
And if he gets murdered behind 4 backup linemen, they're not going to blame the linemen.
Yeah, they don't have patience. Arthur Smith is going to get it, and Russell Wilson's going to get it.
Artie's probably going to get it first.
He's got a stash, okay? I know Pittsburgh, and they're not just going to kill a guy with a stash.
But the internet is stupid, and they are loud.
The internet hates Artie Smith. Yeah. Have you seen the tweet going around?
I have not.
It's basically it's a quote tweet. It's about they found a man who 90% of his brain was missing, but he'd been leading just a normal life, and the picture under it is Artie Smith when he's with the Falcons. Just unnecessary.
Desmond Ritter just got cut.
It's all the fantasy marks.
Desmond Ritter.
They didn't use Bijan Robinson.
For the first 8 weeks or whatever it was.
That's what it's all about.
You are right, though. Yes, Desmond Ritter just got cut, and that was Artie's quarterback. Artie was very great. He was great as an OC. But yes,
He didn't have a chance, man.
He did not have a shot.
A lot of people who don't use their brain that are on the internet are getting their marching orders from the internet that are saying, Artie's a problem. He's
well,
not,
we'll
though.
see. I mean, 4 offensive linemen down is not good news.
Not at all.
For any offense, let alone.
No.
One or two. If you're down 1 or 2, it's a big deal.
It's all right.
Are you kidding me?
It's all right. Herbig's out, but Frazier's a dog, obviously out of WVU, so he's going to be awesome there, and things will be fine. It'll be.
I mean, I'd feel pretty good about defense either way. I mean,
Sure.
you guys don't let up many points.
I
so-
mean, Nick just dropped a little gem in there. You got an Artie Smith revenge game week 1 against Atlanta.
We got a Russ revenge game week 2.
Oh, so we got a lot of spite built up down there at UPMC training facility on the south side of Pittsburgh.
If they don't go 2-0, trouble for the season.
Got a Kirk Cousins revenge game week 1 too. Against his own team. Hey, motherfucker. This is why you paid me, bitch.
Right.
Watch this, huh? Watch this shit.
Steelers won 14 of their last 15 against the Atlanta Falcons.
Mike Tomlin and that defense is always just going to be so good.
Yeah.
Which is why it's been the way it's been for so long. The guys never had a losing season. They're like, we don't care about that, though. It's like, you would if you didn't, Like, if you had a bunch of losing seasons, you would care, obviously. And Pittsburgh is a football town, which I've said a bunch through and through. And they're Steelers town through and through. There's some people that are Penguins fans. There are some people that are Pirates fans, which we will certainly talk about in a matter of moments. And everybody, though, is Steeler fans. Like, that's just how Pittsburgh is. And there's been a lot of success, a lot of greatness. A lot of the history of the NFL runs through that beautiful town that has 3 rivers in it. And, like, what Steelers football has been over the last decade is miserable to watch. Just so the offensive inefficiency and just, like, lack of knowing that you could win a Super Bowl with this team. But then on the defensive side, like, that is it. That is what we're built. So if they can have any shed of offense, just any, they would all have hope that they could do it. And boy, if you got 4 missing offensive linemen to start the season,
and 1 wide receiver, that's the other conversation around the Steelers. Is that
No, I'm not worried about
that's why Aiyuk was such a big thing.
Yeah.
Because they need a second wide receiver.
Since the 2017 AFC Championship game, and then Ben got his elbow the next season. It's
cut off.
So, yeah.
And then the answers was just like, I ain't gonna fucking do it again.
Penguins.
It was awesome because, during the Killer Bees era, the defense sucked.
Yeah, and the offense would play against the Indianapolis Colts and put up 500 yards.
Yeah, those little clips are sweet.
If they had that offense
right now,
with
favorites.
I mean,
if they could just,
they're the Chiefs.
If you could just, bingo.
They're the Chiefs if they have.
Chiefs still exist, by the way. We don't
Yeah,
get
they
to talk
do.
about them every single day. We would like to make some breaking news. The Chiefs are still the Chiefs.
Yep.
And why do we say that? Well, there's no real reason on this particular day to say it, but it is a nice reminder that they exist.
They got Pirine from who?
Samaji. Yeah, the running back formerly of the Bengals, who then ended up at Seattle.
Denver.
Denver.
And he had more receiving yards last year than Justin Watson, Kadarius Toney, Sky Moore, and one other MVS.
And that was with a quarterback that ended up being an $83 million cap hit immediately afterwards in Denver. He's now with the Kansas City Chiefs. Juju Smith-Schuster's back. What?
Well, we're talking about players that are
Both these guys got cut, right?
Okay.
You can take your shots at Juju. Do not talk about Pirine like that. He's a dog.
Pirine was awesome to watch there and spell for Mixon whenever he was with the Bengals.
He'll
He
probably
ran
score
so
the
hard.
game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, there's a chance that
Probably will.
Congrats to the Chiefs. You guys are still the Chiefs.
Where is Kadarius still out there?
Yeah, he's out there.
We knew he wasn't going to make the team, right? As soon as all that stuff happened at the end of last year. They high-roaded it at the time. Very high-road, everybody. Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Veach, I think, even high-roaded it.
Veach this offseason was like, he's the best guy in our wide receiver room.
Yeah, and then doesn't make the team. Punt return, massive. Hot dog, chili dog, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Touchdown. He's got 2 Super Bowl rings. Kadarius Toney.
Forever.
How many months?
Good for him.
Probably 18.
He was there for like 14, 15 months.
14, yeah.
Gets 2 Super Bowl rings.
2.
Hey, congrats, Kadarius. Hell of a run. Had a touchdown, had a big return, have that highlight forever in your life. Obviously didn't end up the way I think he or they thought it would, but he got 2 Super Bowls out of it. So wherever he goes next, he'll be electrifying. We shall assume. All right, let's get the hell out of here. I'm getting some photos from Morgantown, West Virginia.
Here we go.
Oh, nice.
Come on now.
Should be a pretty good set out. There's like 14, probably 1,000 questions that are going to have to be answered, which is good. That'll be a fun thing to experience. AJ, we'll see you on Monday after all the incredibleness of college football takes place. Oh, Tuesday, actually. Yeah, Labor Day, sorry. Ooh.
Oh, that's right.
How many games tonight?
The end of summer.
21.
Colorado, right?
Colorado, baby.
A couple good ones.
Colorado, North Dakota State, Jacksonville State, Coastal Carolina will be good. North Carolina, Minnesota should be good, but like 5 of these games will end up coming down to, in like Kansas there, they got Daniels back at quarterback. He was kind of forgotten about because Bean came in whenever he got hurt, and Bean was so good. I can't believe the Colts cut him.
I know. He's on practice squad.
Practice squad. They got him back on the practice
Thank
squad.
God.
Utah, return of Cam Rising.
Duquesne, Toledo.
They're playing?
Yep.
What? I thought we were putting
That
D1.
10 o'clock game, San Jose
Both
State.
those teams
that'll
are
be a
D1.
good one. That San Jose State team plays ball.
Missouri.
Don't sleep on Lindenwood. That's who Kansas is playing.
Okay, I won't.
That's not a school.
Buffalo at home as well. I like a lot.
What are some of the Buffalo team can really get after?
Who they playing? The Libs? Is that
That's
who that is?
Lafayette.
Oh, I thought you thought it was Liberty. Yeah, they're not playing.
Rutgers
It's not-
obviously at 6
not for the
o'clock
kids.
against Howard.
Colorado tonight. The betting percentages is interesting.
Yeah.
ESPN Bet put out a post that said like 75 or 72% of the straight up bets are on North Dakota State. I think because you get pretty good odds on that.
Wow.
And then on DraftKings, I think it was like 88% of the bets were on Colorado this morning. That was as of this morning. Who knows what it is now? I'm at the point where there's so many people saying North Dakota State's going to keep it close. And then you look at the betting, 88% on Colorado. I have no idea what's supposed to happen. I have no idea what is supposed to happen. I've kind of gone both ways in this. With Colorado's talent and with the amount of people that have been around the Colorado organization and program over the last 5 months, they got Warren Sapp coaching up there.
Yep.
Like Warren Sapp is coaching the Colorado football. Ed Reed was up there, I think, for like the last week or so. Like the amount of football, let alone Prime and everybody, like the amount of football knowledge that is in that fucking building. You would assume with the amount of talent they have that they're going to be able to come out and do their thing and be high. But then North Dakota State's like, they're not going to lay an egg. North Dakota State's never going to lay an egg. So I think it's a great first game for us to all watch. And I think it's really good for Colorado to kind of like see where they're at because they got Nebraska next week.
Yeah.
So it's like a couple like real checks in this entire.
No, North Dakota State's one of those Dakotas, and FC. I think they're number 2 in the FCS behind South Dakota State. Go Jack, go big, go blue, go big, go Jackrabbits.
Go big, go blue, go Jacks. Jeez Louise.
North Dakota State's not gonna. They're not gonna beat themselves. Okay, and Colorado obviously
Colorado's
has
not gonna beat
weapons.
themselves either.
Wow. Okay.
Sure.
There's
I hope not.
And they got more weapons. They got
more man meat too.
They got a receiving kid, Terry Timmings, I think, and they added the DB that's ranked top 10 in the country, DJ McKinnon, I think his name.
And I think they brought in a bunch of offensive linemen as well
Yeah.
because the O-line was obviously pretty problematic.
I think they have 5 new O linemen this year.
Jimmy Horn.
They brought in some meat, to solidify the line. It's like there's a chance Colorado
points,
does come out and go,
they're going
bananas.
to want to make a bang. Don't you? I mean, Colorado's going to want to come up there and put some points on the board, get some turnovers. They know this is how they start the season. Yeah, they want to
sold out.
They want to start with a bang.
Yeah, what a game for them.
Yeah.
But I am worried that if they do struggle a little bit, there's going to be people that are confused, like North Dakota State. It's like North Dakota State, good football program.
Dynasty.
That is a very good football program and play sound football. And that's a big part of football, is playing sound football.
Minnesota, North Carolina has that game has 2 of the best running backs in the country. So that's something to watch tonight too.
PJ Fleck favored in that.
It was basically,
It was like 1.5. They're getting 1.5 now.
Should be this early.
Snake oil goes early in the season, boys.
What are we talking about?
Snake oil
a few
is
games into the
potent.
season, it starts to fade.
Until about
It's the strongest
November.
snake oil you'll get in week 1, my friend.
No, you got what you're saying right now. I don't think is indicative of the situation in Minnesota. Okay, I remember.
Love the
College Game Day was over there in Minnesota a few years back with the program. They had to reset,
2 years ago.
rebuild. They're rowing the boat.
Oh yeah,
they're gonna be good all year. And wait till Iowa got Minnesota this year again.
I believe so.
Of course.
Uh-oh.
But I don't know.
Who
Not worried
hates
about it.
Iowa? We hate Iowa. That's a Minnesota chant.
Yeah.
So maybe Ty's a little biased journalist. Whoa.
No.
Whoa. Journalistic standard.
No.
Journalistic standard.
No.
Journalistic standards.
Don't you dare. I'm just saying, listen, Minnesota is always very good to start the season. And then once we get to about midway point November, Thanksgiving starts floating around. That snake oil is.
What do you say? This is more biased journalism.
You could look it up.
It's kind of how Carolina is too, to be honest.
Whoa!
Carolina
They had
lost.
injuries.
They lost the face of their entire fucking state down there in Drake May. So
How about him potentially getting offered like $5-6 million to go elsewhere to two different schools, and he's like, "No, Chapel Hill is my home. I ain't fucking leaving."
He's a future man. He
doesn't have social media, right?
Yeah, he does, but he rarely posts on it.
Like 5 or 6 burners.
Yeah, he doesn't. No. Those aren't burners. Those are his brothers, you son of a bitch.
And his drunk uncle.
Yeah, and his drunk uncle.
We know his drunk uncle's got a couple different Twitter accounts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we know that. One's pretty active, I assume, in one particular department of X. Maybe a couple more X's on that. All right, who's this for? We got 21 games tonight. So, boys, we got
for Jacksonville State.
This for Jacksonville State?
Yeah.
They are going to be. It's going to be. Rich Rodriguez football is worth a watch.
Yeah.
Like that is just him, how he's going to act, his team, how they're going to play, worth a watch. And if they get down, even better because it is going to. A lot of new players on this Jacksonville State team. Though.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it is. My source says have told me they worked their ass off during training camp. So that's what my source told me.
Bonus ball.
This is the second half. Lava.
Good save.
Great save. Great save.
Nice.
Sorry, Coach Carolina.
Yep.
No.
It looked good. That was the first half.
Second quarter.
Second quarter, yep.
First quarter was a mess.
Yeah, there you go.
This is third quarter.
Yep, third quarter, second quarter.
Okay, now
International ball. That game's played in the United States.
Fourth quarter comeback. Ooh. Overtime comeback. Oh, shit. Double overtime.
Second overtime.
Triple OT. Gotta go for two.
Oh, shit.
Got it.
That's in.
Oh, bonus ball.
You're right, though. What are we doing shooting basketballs for football season?
What do we?
Yeah.
First quarter. All right, here's second quarter now. Basketballs didn't count.
That's a bad ball.
It's a flat ball.
All right, second quarter
for
again.
real. It's all relaxed.
For real.
It's all relaxed.
Here we go. Middle eight. The middle eight. Let's win that.
Middle eight. Yeah.
Bad ball.
In the middle eight.
Let's focus, please.
All right.
It's a graveyard out there.
That's the offseason, though.
That was training camp. Boys worked their ass off.
Yeah, you see a graveyard. I see opportunity.
This ball goes in. Jacksonville State tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boom.
Fuck, so strong. So strong.
Just like the team spirit.
That's right. That was a pregame speech.
Yep, that was a pep rally.
Yeah, that was. You gotta be strong.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you gotta be strong. You gotta overdo it.
Bingo.
It's for Jacksonville State. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good ball.
That was the one.
That's a good ball.
But that was field goal to win the game at the end of regulation.
Now we're in overtime.
Now they're in overtime, yeah.
Impressive team to lose all these quarters and make the OT.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're a resilient bunch.
Oh. So then they missed a field goal to win in OT.
Oh,
boom,
good play fake. Good play
Play
fake.
action to win in OT. Hit the net, though. Oh, yeah! Marino!
Hold on, none of these have been college balls.
Get legs.
There's the college ball.
College football.
That's the
Get
one
right.
that counts.
College football.
Also a college
All
football.
right, for them to win the national championship.
All right, Jacksonville State. This is the 2023 National Championship Bowl.
Okay.
This goes in Jacksonville State tonight. No
Yeah.
problem. Yep. Well, all right. Seems like everything is told us.
Got the vortex still.
Hold on.
Yeah, I mean the real ball.
There it is.
Yeah.
Get right. Jacksonville State. Oh my God.
You want to believe in 3?
Yeah. You got the rust ball.
It's the
Calibrate it.
That thing flies so smooth, too.
You're damn right.
If this thing goes in, they're winning the natty.
Oh, my God.
I'm afraid.
Fade the shots.
Yeah, you're right. Look at this fucking.
Fade the shots. Those are all for Coastal.
Let's enjoy the night.
Yeah.
Let's enjoy the night.
Football season is back.
We'll see you in Morgantown tomorrow. Noon we go live. I believe they're letting people into the area around 9 a.m. There's a couple bars opening up at 8 a.m. to pregame if you want to stop by. Mutts and taters. What's that?
I was going to say tots. And
they have tots. It's taters.
Kegs and eggs. Kegs and eggs like St. Patty's Day?
Yep. That is what Tater said.
Are we doing another Ireland show?
No. Nope. There's only one of those. When in Dublin.
When in
Morgantown.
Do as the Morgantownians do.
We're going to root on West Virginia more.
Uh-huh.
Hell yeah.
The only way they know how.
No. I did get a call from a former teammate of mine.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I watched that Dublin show. Are you back? Are you back?
Mm-hmm.
I said, no. I'm just getting over the hangover. Couple pre-show beers though? It's like, no. No, we are not doing that. He goes, post-show then. Post-show beers? I gotta get to Texas.
Yep.
I am so sorry. So you're doing no beers? Yep. That's what
Sounds about right.
Okay. All right. We'll see you tomorrow. I was like, yeah, you will. Everybody's going to be there. Can't wait for it. We are so thankful that we get to do this for a living. And to sports journalists, people, let's keep those standards high.
Mm-hmm.
All of us.
Let's go shake their hands.
Let's keep the standards high. We'll do this all together. Keep standards high. We'll be right, you know. Yeah. Accuracy. That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
Shaking it.
AJ, I don't think you've made a deal with fucking anybody yet. I haven't seen you shake a hand.
Shake it. You see me shaking. I've been shaking the whole time.
That's how you
Yeah, but
shake a hand.
you're kind of like alphing.
Shake like this.
Yeah, well,
no,
you
of course.
you
Yeah,
gotta
you got to
turn
go
the hand over.
good steady shake.
Yeah, I would definitely go here and then bang. We're going right there.
Why's your fingers closed?
Anyways.
Well, bring the other one in.
You remember Rob Daredeck?
Yeah.
He used to come in for handshakes like this.
Yeah.
I was watching.
And his fingers are so wide when he does.
Yeah, and I would watch like Ridiculousness or Robin Big, and every time I'm like, man, I wonder how I would. How does everybody not go in? And then he'll do a fucking handshake.
Oh, yeah. You just hug it if you see something like
Smack it real hard and then
Yeah, bingo.
That's the play.
Yep.
Every once in a while, there's some people that come in with a weird angle, and you're like, what's this one going to be?
Yeah. Elbow to the left, arm to the right.
And then you're slapping out. That one's a quick.
Yeah.
That's a quick slap.
Same over.
And then a
weirdo.
hug.
You got to get out there, present early.
Yeah, well, we used to have a strength coach named John Tureen, and he had a full system of handshakes throughout his entire life. And like first day I go in to meet him, new punter. Hey, Pat McAfee, locks out handshake, puts arm on shoulder, and just fucking guides.
See ya. Got places to be.
And then he came up to me. He said, "I just hit you with that. I don't have fucking time. Okay, you can take that one for your." I laughed so hard. I was like, "Okay, you're the man." He's from Jersey. He was awesome. But he had all these like, "Oh, we really hate a guy. Okay, this is how I would handle myself." And he like, quick dap, yeah. And then like he had a bunch. It was I forget exactly what it was, but it was. You remember a couple years ago? We did some journalism. Do you remember what handshakes were? Remember we did some journalism.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that?
Jab.
When that entire
feet.
thing? Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Toe.
Elbow.
Elbows.
Because you couldn't look in the eyes.
For a
I'm
time.
glad they came back. I'm glad the handshakes came back.
Remember we had a week worth of conversation about will a dap ever happen again?
Yeah.
Will a nice clean dap happen? I think we even ran highlights of daps that have happened, and we worried that they're all the way back.
All the way back.
Hugs.
Yeah.
Did it.
You stay away from those mosquitoes, though, from what I've been told.
Up in the Northeast?
Yeah, it sounds like, I don't know what the fuck they're.
Did you see who put those mosquitoes there?
All right, we will be back tomorrow from Morgantown, West Virginia.
I'm not some MAGA.
Okay.
It's MAGA.
Yeah. It's exactly what a big MAGA guy would say.
Yeah, you're reading your magazine.
Yeah.
We know it.
That fucking cowboy hat.
Jeez Louise, this guy. That's the thing I think people really, and because of some of the conversations that have happened on this particular program, as a vaccinated human,
Sure.
at the time during those conversations, I kind of just got lumped in very quickly. And then I have like common sense thoughts on some things, and they're like, whoa, this guy. And then I think that is potentially a reason why.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think there's,
Oh, yeah.
which yesterday, tried to.
I don't know if Tuesdays
I just-
helped ever. What?
What?
Yeah, Tuesdays. Oh, you're talking about with that MAGA?
He's not MAGA. Remember,
He's not some big MAGA guy.
He said he quoted that's quote on the show.
Yeah.
And
My
as soon-
favorite quote.
As soon as he said it, all of us, well,
Yeah.
that's They're gonna.
Okay, Mr. Maga.
That's the one.
Sure sounded like a manga.
It never ends. Our show is so stupid.
Yep.
We are so lucky that we get to do it. And I do believe we are doing some things that are good for sports. We've certainly got it wrong.
Sure.
Numerous times.
You can be perfect every day.
What the fuck?
Come on.
You human?
Jesus Christ, one time.
Bingo.
Yeah, seriously.
One time. And do we know, is there any days missing in between pages that maybe you didn't just, take a little siesta? Like, how the Amish, they have that rum springer that happened. Jesus never had the rum springer.
No, but I mean, there is a story in the Bible of Jesus going into a temple and they, were like gambling and had like a market set up in there and he just went fucking ape shit.
And one?
Turned tables over and stuff like that. And
Oh, so that was like his release.
yeah, kind of.
The amount of blackjacks the dealer had that day.
There's no way. 6 card?
Yeah.
In my dad's house! Kind of that type of
Yeah,
thing.
a lot of bullshit.
Well, God bless everybody.
Yep.
Exactly.
God bless.
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice about change their life. We'll see you tomorrow in Morgantown. We're in this thing together. Let's never forget that. That does get forgotten. We're in this thing together. Team on me. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye.